Hey, welcome back everybody to more The Dig with Rampancy.net. I'm Nargajan.
And I'm Blackstar.
And I'm Jeyl.
And Funk is somewhere.
Are you
Funk?
there?
I'm theoretically somewhere, yes.
Okay, there he is.
Okay,
Funk is
so
joining us
welcome
via
everyone.
voice.
Yes, he's hiding somewhere in probably someone's bathroom. So welcome. We're continuing
Does it
our
sound
exciting
like that?
adventures with one of Jayl's favorites. We're doing The Dig again. Now, question, Jeyl. You guys had so much fun with me without me last week. How far have you gotten? You got about to the midpoint, you said, so you might be able to wrap it up today. Is that the plan?
I think that is possible. We got to the point where we resurrected some alien entity that we couldn't understand. Then we contacted Maggie. Now she's been abducted by an unknown creature, and we basically need to get a lot of stuff done before we even begin to understand stuff. So we're going to be pick up right where we left off, and we're going to go see what we can do.
Okay. So without further ado, continuing on with The Dig.
Okay.
I thought maybe we were just making fun of someone.
So let's see if we can call Brink one more time and see if he'll help.
We get to call him a jerk.
Come in, Brink.
And our lovely pump pilot.
I know. I
Great.
love the
He's decided
flashbacks.
to play hide and seek. Well, I don't have time to waste on children's games.
I was a child when I played this game.
Well, keep in mind, this is of the era when you guys were paying for the internet and cell phones by the minute, so maybe he just doesn't want to answer.
Our
Well,
protagonist
since I'm
still
not
is a
gonna
child mentally.
Hey, I remember Cell 1 bills going through them. I mean, literally, they would print you out like a book of all the phone calls that you made. It was awful paying those by the minute, let me tell you.
Okay, so last I checked, Brink is actually on this crypt island. So let's go
Is that what it's
see if
called?
we can talk. I think it's called the Tomb Island. I can verify that.
Okay. Decca's in the chat. Hi, Decca. He says, yeah, as we left off, our semi-friendly translator got taken by space spiders.
Waiters.
Right when she started to understand the language, too.
Has Brink moved or is he still in the same place?
He's just ignoring you.
What are you doing here, Lo? I don't want you here.
Something happened to Maggie. She needs our help.
Then go help her. What I'm doing here is important.
Hey, if we felt that way about you, you'd still be dead.
You're the tough guy, Lo. You're the hero. Go do your hero activities and let me do the science.
Yeah, you go hero it up.
So he's still in the same spot, but Narc, you are right about noticing that he was visible from that hallway because he wasn't before, and that's supposed to be a clue as to what you can do now. But yes, we do need Brink for this next step. So the trick is trying to get him
Convince him?
to come with us. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, he was standing
what-
by those, like, what, green rocky gem things, and there's the stairs
The life
behind
crystals.
him. Oh, is that what those
Big
are?
crystal stash.
Crystal
Ooh,
stash.
He's stashing them.
Start calling it
I
meth.
don't need your help.
Okay, he doesn't want me to mess with this crystal stash, and this stash
I've
was
got-
not here before when we encountered him in this room.
I've
Because
got
it's
plenty
green,
of crystal
bitch.
meth. You don't interest me, Lo.
It's supposed to be
And the
blue if
machine
it's
is,
meth.
And the machine
no.
is more complete than it was before as well.
Is it?
Dark meth is
So
green.
It doesn't even look
Yeah,
like a
he is-
machine. It looks like a rock outcropping. It just looks like...
Yeah, and you never see what he's looking at, so it's like, I don't know, it seems to be a very
Well-
deep control panel or something.
At least it sounds like a machine when you listen.
Well, yeah,
It does.
it looks like...
sounds metal. It
Whatever
looks like
the
rock, but it sounds like
interesting-
he's messing with metal.
Right, but whatever the interesting part of that thing is on the other side where we can't see it and he can.
Yeah. Let's see.
Decca says, yeah, Brink is in death
What
crystal
are you
thrall
doing with all these light
100%.
crystals? I told you to go away.
I'm smoking
There's
them.
nothing here that you're capable of understanding.
Okay, so
I'm not going to
I
translate.
think I think at this point Boston would have an idea on how to get his attention. So, you saw how he's visible at this point here, Narc?
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think the solution is here?
We
Grab
stand
his
out here in the
life
corridor,
crystals and
we
him
make a
follow
noise
you?
like a life crystal, and then we jump on him when he comes out to look for one.
Yeah, there we go. I say we take his life crystals
That's
and
my plan.
and make him follow us.
Okay. Here's a hint. I actually performed this trick on our first stream to establish the solution, which
okay.
is
Come on, guys.
Oh, the bats.
Let's get a look at you.
He's afraid of bats?
No! Go away!
He is! You bat pansy, you.
You know,
which is why. Go ahead, Narc.
no, I made a resolution to myself to stop bagging on the game because I was like, wow, I was kind of too down on the game for adventure game logic stuff. You should be nicer to it. But that kind of stops me from wanting to do that.
What? I thought it was great.
Because,
I thought it was awesome.
Well,
was the point of
It's
that
how
to get
he's
Brink to help us
visible.
or just to get him out of the room?
we need to get him out of the room in order to, as we see, swipe these crystals from him.
Okay, but as I
Crystal
understood
swiping?
it, the task was getting him to help us find Maggie.
Yes. And this is how we do it.
Okay. Roll on.
You thief! Give those back!
See?
Watching
All right.
the life crystals.
After you help me find Maggie.
I'm not going
I
to
knew
waste
it, I knew
one
it.
moment on such a meaningless task.
Yes, you will, Brink.
Wow.
If you ever want these life crystals back.
You're a miserable bully, Lo. Typical military mind. Pushing other people around.
Right. So follow me and do as you're told. Is that rational enough for you?
So we got all of his crystals now. So now we're going to go look for Maggie.
So the crystals made him smarter and brought him back to life after being dead, but didn't make him any stronger. So, like, we can still bully him easily by
Why does he?
taking his
Is
crystals.
it the jacket? Because I'm sorry, he looks very Dolph Lundgren compared to our tiny frame.
It's the
there.
eyes. It looks like he's wearing Terminator sunglasses, but those are just his
Really?
eyes, I
don't
think.
know. He just looks like a
Well-
bigger physical character than Boston.
Yeah,
So, I don't
yeah.
know.
I agree.
So how is
Yeah, so
he
yeah,
intimidated by him? I don't get it.
So this is the Tomb Spire, the Map Spire, the Museum Spire, the Planetarium Spire, and the last spire we have not encountered yet.
Planetarium Spire.
Are you going to say the Spire?
Spider Spire. Deca says, he says they made him smarter. It's questionable. Yeah, I guess that's true. Although, I mean, he thinks he's doing something with the machine. Like, is he just screwing around? Or is he doing something that's not really his own idea that's going to be bad for everybody later
Well,
on?
Deca says he's physically changing because he mentioned the green skin from before. And yeah, I have a distinct impression that he's turning into a native, or at least he's having his DNA rewritten to an extent.
He does have his sprite change, like his pants have damage from the fall he took in the earlier part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice
No,
that
he
the
doesn't.
game reflects that.
He doesn't look like he has any eyes
Wow.
right here.
So, based on what we experienced last game, do you remember that cave we went inside of where we saw a creature in the top left corner crawl by?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's where we're going to go. See if that has anything to do with this. Come
No,
on,
no,
Brink.
don't
I got
hurry,
you.
guys. Don't rush. It's not like she's in imminent danger. Just
No,
please.
I hate escort missions.
Slowly stroll to
Oh.
danger.
Maggie,
Suddenly,
is that you?
hentai.
Are you alright?
Oh my god, yeah, this is taking a turn.
How can she be alright? She's bound up in that web.
Okay,
Maybe
there's
she
the
likes
monster.
it.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
This guy is big and nasty. Smells pretty bad, too.
Wow. So we're judgmental and slow.
Maggie, I'll try to think of
Yes,
something.
Maggie. Struggle more. That'll help.
Remember, you can't spell slow without low.
That thing likes me.
Thanks. Drink. Unless we want to end up where Maggie is, we've got to get by this thing.
The obvious plan is for one of us to distract him while the other one slips by.
Maybe you are thinking better, Blake. You want to sneak or distract?
Why?
I'll be the diversion.
Why give him the choice? Then why would he volunteer?
Right. No kidding. Not to mention the fact that, yes, you have the tactics of a 6-year-old. Congratulations.
Come here, you phlegm, carapace, slime-faced, mucus-brained, furry-legged abductor of luminously intelligent but pulchritudinous earth women.
There's something you'll never hear Spike say.
Wow. A
That's the-
phrase never before uttered by human
No,
beings.
you idiot! Why are you standing there?
Oh yeah, you didn't move.
Yes.
Figure out what you said.
Move your silly buttocks, you fool!
Yes,
Idiotics.
city buttocks.
I gotta say, actually, Brink is the star of this thing so far, really.
I'm over here. Don't leave me.
Okay, so
What? Wait, what?
What?
What are we doing?
Okay, I'm confused. What are
Okay,
you
this
doing
is-
and where are you going?
so
Bye, Maggie.
Back-
See you in the next game.
let's get back to that.
We're waiting for.
Where were you? This monster has me trapped.
Does he
Waiting
now?
for it to eat Brink.
Waiting
Playing
to turn this to
Explorer
Drider
while the
porn.
monster chases poor Brink.
I'm trying to figure out how to get that monster out of here.
So we got a grate here.
It's not that great.
Yeah, it's not that great.
It looks like a grate sealing something off.
It
I
really
beat you.
isn't. Maybe we can-
She's like trying to gnaw her own
Okay.
legs off. What? No, it's, yeah. What is she
Never
trying to bite her arm? What is that?
And the twist.
Okay, so boss, the game was trying.
Boston,
Give me 1
where
second,
are you
Maggie.
going?
Yeah,
So
that's
the
what
ga-
I want to know.
Don't leave me.
Okay, so this is pretty much a new area that boss decides to go into, and the game makes you do this, and it's kind of its way of telling you you need to go here. But
Right
But
now,
now?
though? That's my question. Yeah.
yeah, and we have a nice beach with nothing on it. Okay, so let's go up to the false source.
Wait, what's a nice beach with
How did-
nothing on
wait.
it?
How do you?
Oh ho! Look,
Another great. Oh, okay.
Water is pouring through
Oh.
that hole at a tremendous rate.
okay, so this water, when diverted, goes into the grate and goes through the grate that Maggie's in, but that grate looks plugged up. And when we step off of it, the water is no longer diverted.
So we have to put
So
a
we
rock
have
there.
Let's.
At this point, I'm ready to try any damn thing.
Push it.
So not only does that divert the water into the grate, but it also changes this background where we got even more waterfalls.
Okay, so we've turned
I always
into a
thought-
beaver. Game definitely does not have a sense of urgency.
If it was a Sierra game, it would be. So now we have a new chat option. Great.
What is that down there by you, Maggie? It looks like a grate sealing something off.
It's a grate sealing something off. What are you doing, Boston?
I think
Yes.
the water I diverted
Yes.
from the waterfall was flowing right to that grate. There should be a lot of pressure behind it.
I'll remember that if I need a bath.
I
Like
love how
the
calm
devs
she is.
know this is silly and stupid. They wrote the characters to lampshade. This is silly and stupid. What you're doing.
Drink.
Well,
It
the other
is,
thing,
but this-
what's preventing that spider from climbing up and getting Brink all while you're doing this? I don't understand its incapacity
Brink's
in
got
trying
clawed
to climb
armor.
up
He's
this
already
ledge.
been resurrected.
And LucasArts have firmly dedicated themselves to not killing you when you play a point-and-click adventure game, so
But
there
we're
is
not
no
Brink.
real urgency.
It can kill Brink.
Right.
He's not
why,
us.
Why can't he eat Brink?
He's already died once.
Yeah.
You can die again. See, I thought we were going to
It's a
solve
great
this
down
by
by
pushing
Maggie.
Brink into the jaws of this
If you
thing,
can
and then
lure
while
the
he was
monster
gnawing
over
on
toward
Brink,
it.
you'd save Maggie.
Then when Maggie unclogs the grate, the water I diverted will hit it like a fire hose.
This is
Yes.
seriously your plan?
See, Brinks thinks this is dumb too.
Maggie, can you get the grate open?
Has anybody thought
Yeah,
of the
Briggs
fact
is not
that if
wrong.
It does spout water like a fire hose. I'm right here.
That's a good point, Maggie. Hold on tight.
How do I hold on tight when I'm unclogging a grate?
That's why you get the big bucks.
Do it then. Just do it. It's only my life anyway.
Nobody's getting paid out here.
Come on, you ponderous exoskeleton. You cocoon-eating lobster face, cave-dwelling arthropoidal elementary sphincter muscle.
Okay, he's attracted by flashlights for some reason. Wow, so with these two strapping young men, Maggie saved herself.
Maggie,
She don't need no
you
man.
made it.
How's my hair?
You're worried about your...
It was a team
I
effort.
was joking, Boston. You know, like you strong, manly types do when you just about get killed.
Maggie's safe now. I satisfied our little deal. So give me my crystals and let me get back to work.
Brink, it's time for us to work together on...
Brink, this is now an intervention. Oh, now we can.
Take one more step closer, Maggie, and you'll wish you were back with that giant lobster.
He sure is weird.
Now what?
That's what you gotta say.
I've been getting the feeling that the ghosts want us to help them. As if they were stuck and wanted out.
Stuck how?
Well, the library consoles seem to indicate that they may have left this world for another. What if they want to come back, but can't?
I don't know. How will we go about helping? Assuming that's what they want, and they wouldn't eat us when they got back.
Beats me. I'm just interpreting.
Okay. So now that we got
no,
Maggie.
Speculating is what you're doing. Oh, just for Amber in chat, I think she won the internet today. She says, "Don't go chasing waterfalls."
That's good. That's a good one.
Nice one, Amber. Decca said, "Yeah, death comes for all. Some more than once." Okay, so a lot of people are going to die repeatedly. Brinks is very creative with insults when pissed off. And Maggie, the exposition bird. Yes, yeah, she's good at that.
So now that we have Maggie in the party, and now that she knows how this alien language works, we might be able to finally talk to the big bird.
Is he a bird? Have we established that, or are we just like guessing?
He looks feathery. He's got like little wings.
I don't know what's so hard about talking to Big Bird. Oscar the Grouch does it all the time.
Well, this
point.
obviously isn't the big bird from Sesame Street. I was
Yeah, is
more
there
or
a
less-
Snuffleupagus here?
I was gonna say the big cheese, but well, actually, he is kind of the same color as cheese.
He's gonna be really pissed when he finds out we killed his pets.
Well, it's not like
Just
we
saying.
had much of a
If you came home and found that your guard dogs have been murdered,
Oh! I totally forgot. I don't have any life crystals.
oh, didn't you?
Oh wait,
Brink
did Brink
stole
take
them
them all
all.
back?
Yeah.
Oh, do we have to go
Uh-oh.
back to the
Oh.
source and get more?
Now, Wait a minute. Did he take the ones that you stole from him, or did he
Him.
take
Yeah.
those plus the
He
ones you
took-
had?
Plus the ones I had.
Oh crap!
Oh,
Okay,
so he
so there's
just
no way
takes all
around
of
that.
them.
You
Yeah.
couldn't leave
Like what? They don't-
some somewhere.
They didn't have
For
they didn't have
later.
your name on them. You know, I mean,
No, you're right. They didn't have.
what do you
a
mean?
name
What
on
do you
Right,
mean
but-
these are your life crystals? They didn't have your name on it.
But yeah, but you had an inventory before though, and now that inventory is now Brink's. Is my point.
Yep.
Yeah, but we still have one source. Where is Museum Spire?
Oh, Deca says, yeah, think of them as griffins or hippogriffs. I don't know what's a hippogriff.
Good. A hippogriff
know?
is like a bird and a lion mix.
Okay,
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
if we can come back here, so could Brink. So why did he give a crap that we took the ones
Yeah,
he already
exactly.
had? Why didn't he
Brink's
just come
moron.
down here and stuff his pockets again?
I'll say this much. Remember that.
Why doesn't he come down and like roll around on this thing like in Breaking Bad?
Okay, so we
I'm
should
pretty
have
sure
enough
he's using
for-
one as a suppository.
Now, the other question I have is I didn't see the first half of the game. I came in late. So Narc, did you try driving your Warthog over the light bridge?
No, I wanted to, but we didn't have
Okay.
time.
He is notorious. He has a legendary way of taking vehicles that aren't supposed to be going places and trying to put them there. So I was just curious if you tried.
I would argue you didn't actually play the first Halo game if that wasn't 50% timing.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay, sorry we left you out in the air. He's probably, well, hopefully he hasn't. What's the term? Dehydrated
Dried
further?
out.
Dried out.
Yeah, does it matter if you leave him exposed like that without his little canopy, his little?
Yeah, why don't you just spit on
Cover?
him? That'll help.
Well, I'm just wondering if like other animals could like move his bones to the point where you can't like revive him. Morning, sunshine.
Here's
Just-
where my
just-
alien
just
education either
casual walk
pays off
away.
or we die.
Die?
I'm surprised you didn't program
As
it
long as
into
I
the
don't
Palm Pilot.
accidentally offend him, we'll be okay.
Aklash Park.
Right, because all she had is the alphabet,
He says,
which is
"Open
not.
your mouth," which
is
is
not
their
the
way
way.
of saying "speak."
Yeah, where did she get the
You
pronunciation
do the
guide?
talking, Maggie, so you can understand each other.
Speak.
So now, thanks to Maggie, who we are now controlling, we are interpreting what he's saying into English.
Of course, because convenient.
Why was your tomb so carefully hidden?
So only the most persistent, the most clever, and therefore the most dangerous of visitors would find me.
Okay,
Why
so
was
you're
your
a
body
designer
preserved
proxy.
So carefully?
Since all the evil in this place was my fault, I chose to be its guardian forever.
If what you did was bad, why did the museum displays give you so much honor?
There was a time when my creations were thought to be good. I believed it myself, or I would never have created them.
Also, I'm a huge
How long
narcissist.
will you remain here?
Until the last of my mistakes is rectified, or until the life crystals lose their power out of miserable death.
Okay, hold
We
up
want
a
to go
second.
home.
That is the wish of
Yeah,
all
we're
living creatures.
running through this too quickly.
It is a vain
Yeah,
wish.
Okay. I'll wait for the
There
next
is
one.
no true hope.
There is no true home.
All intelligence wanders and has no rest.
I learned that in the
So
movie
ignorance is
Joe
bliss.
Dirt.
Okay, my question is, Maggie's little interpretation from the library explains how we can understand him. Have we established how and why he can understand us? Because as far as I can tell, this is a one-way translation that we've discovered where we could understand him. Have they established any reason how the hell he can understand Maggie?
Presumably, Maggie's
back-
actually speaking the alien language, and the game is presenting it as English for practicality
Okay,
reasons.
so they're being super convenient then.
Yes, and I like how in one day she's figured out pretty complicated English phrases.
Well, yeah, like you said, she understood the alphabet. No context, no grammar, no idioms, no, you know what I mean? There's a whole plethora of nuances to language and whatnot. So I'm just curious as to why they went this route as opposed to something, technological. Why didn't they go with the whole, universal translator trope? Or maybe establish that
Or Babelfish.
he understands their language because they've met humans before or something. I don't know. It just seems.
They probably
I
just
also
wanted-
think it was really convenient that we said, "Oh, but this museum is venerating you," and then he's like, "Yeah, it totally was," as opposed to be like, "I wasn't a museum,"
All right.
It was in the museum. They showed
Yeah, but
his people
you
burying
don't-
him in.
Why is that? Why do they do that in museums?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, who says that's
Well,
a museum?
we
I thought
still
got
have-
that right.
We still have
Right.
conversations to go through.
Yep.
Come on.
Go ahead.
No, I'm okay. So go ahead. I just
The probe
wanted
you
to bring
sent
that up.
out brought us here. We want to go back to our home planet.
Another one of our terrible mistakes. We sent out those probes when we thought we had found the glorious secrets of the universe. We could not call them back. Thus, I remain here to warn all those who come in answer to an invitation we wish we had not sent.
Okay, so the asteroid that we deflected and got trapped into that sent us here were meant to be invitations to this planet. I don't know if you remember one of the museum displays that showed basically the process of a ship landing and new visitors coming in, and these aliens coming to greet them. We were supposed to have a welcoming committee that was not there when we arrived.
Okay.
Oh, wait, a welcoming committee or a warning
Us
committee?
won't do any good unless we can get back home to Earth to tell other humans.
There are two ways to protect your planet. One is if you return and warn them to stay away. The other is if you never return at all. Which warning do you think will be more effective?
Well,
What?
the one with ignorance usually never helps.
Yeah, like this guy doesn't know people at all. Oh, they never
Well-
return. Let's just send
Yeah.
more dudes into the
Well,
void.
not to mention the fact that once the information of this planet hits Earth, there's no way to stop them or any other country to decide to come here or not, of which they'd come anyway, warning or no, to plunder its riches and technology and whatever else, because that's what humans do. So to be honest, it would be more effective never to go anywhere. But the fact is that because they were lost, the only way to prevent them from being found is for them to not to be searched for. So yeah,
They
I
got
would
a
say
deep
not going
impact
home would be
this
more
thing,
effective.
Blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Just like they were trying to do. Yeah.
Tell us how to get back to Earth. I beg you.
If
Big
my
bully.
people could return from space-time 6 where they have gone, they would rebuild the starport. They would make a crystal ship which would take you back to your planet. But they will never find their way back home.
Space time 6.
Our species has no sense of direction.
Who are you, Honored One?
The bringer of misfortune.
Please tell me who you are.
Oh, he's Little Misfortune. We've played that.
Does. The creator who uncreates. And yet, I would gladly be the destroyer who undestroys. The dangerous one who protects.
Speak plainly. Tell us who you are.
Once, I was hailed as the greatest mind my people ever produced. I tried to bring them power and happiness. I gave them power to leave this world, to leave their bodies, to enter an existence as pure mind, eternally perfect. But I could not give them the power to return and reclaim their abandoned bodies, their decaying world. They are lost and cannot return.
Rather, I could have, but I forgot.
Have you
My name is Slotty Bartfast.
Goddamn, I was literally gonna make that joke. I was literally gonna make that joke, same joke, just so I could say I told
love
you
it.
it was not important.
I told you it wasn't important. Yeah, I know.
My body is now so ancient that the crystals scarcely have power over me. I rise for a few minutes, and then I fall again. Soon, I will cease to rise at all. Only then will my grief end.
They have a pill for that.
More memory to live after me.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
it's called
see
a life
how-
crystal. I've got so many life crystals up my butt right now, dude, you can't even know, but they don't work.
The language of the library was a great achievement. It was so clear and surprisingly easy to learn.
The greater the idea, the simpler and clearer the language needed to express it.
So there's the write-off
Those of
on
you guys
how
have
she
not
learned
read
this so fast.
1984.
Why is this inscription in another kind of writing?
I did not write it. I would not have written it.
Okay.
The visitors?
Read it, but the meaning isn't clear. It speaks of something hidden.
It was the first achievement on the road to my greatest error, the one that condemned my people.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, glowing crystal.
You
It
mean
was
you have
sharing
somebody
networks
else who can
password,
write?
that's what it is.
Invent the life crystals? To raise the dead is the greatest achievement we've seen.
What raises the dead can debase the living.
Are there side effects to the crystals?
What the crystals create is not a life, but a slave.
So when the life crystals restore you, you aren't really alive?
They restore the cells and the organs, but take away all that made the life worth living.
Then why did you make them?
Our society became obsessed with living eternally. I underestimated the breadth and danger of the obsession. The crystals are the second worst mistake I made.
The second worst.
Great. What's the first?
The metal plates.
Sorry,
we
shouldn't
found,
Brink be hearing this?
What are they?
He wouldn't care.
They are authority and power. Each shape has a meaning. And when they are fitted together, they have a new meaning.
If we put the control plates in the triangle, what will happen?
You will open the door to beauty without boundaries, and to trouble without end.
What are the ghosts we saw? Are they alive?
My people all travel to the realm of space-time 6, where 3 dimensions of time join to the 3 dimensions of space. It is indescribably beautiful, but they can build nothing there. They can create nothing, they just exist, on and on with empty lives and hearts that long for this hard and stony world.
So it's the metaverse.
The ghosts are your people, then.
Their connection to this world is so slight. They can disturb
Untraceable.
the air. They can make themselves visible for a few moments, but they can't build anything here. They will live forever, but it is not life.
So those ghosts were his people trying to get us to help them.
They can't solve
Is
puzzles,
it impossible
which is
for your people to come back?
It takes enormous strength of will to leave that place and come back to this one. They have all tried. They have all failed.
they tried and failed. They tried and died.
They have lost the physical memory of how to live here in space-time 4.
Why did the ghost lead us to you?
Some of them foolishly hope that if I help you open the gateway again, you might have the strength to lead them home, to let them remake their bodies here. But I am sure that all that would happen is you, too, would be lost in space-time 6.
Okay, so we
You
pretty
have
much
to move to
learned-
Babylon 5.
Well, that's clearly between space-time
Wait, hold
4
on, we're
and
not
space-time
talking
6 is
to him.
Babylon 5.
Your foolish
Exactly.
We're not giving up.
My only consolation is that true death comes closer with each dying.
I feel you, man.
G9 asks,
question.
what are the 2 extra dimensions for?
Good job of translating, Maggie.
Hey, I don't want to be paying for a dimension we're not using.
But I'm also pretty damn good. Are you sure we want to leave? He's a
Are
living.
you sure you want to
encyclopedia.
stay?
Aren't there more things to talk to that dude about?
They are, but they're not.
Now
Not
that you can
accessible.
read the library inscriptions, can you make any sense out of this? What does it say?
It seems to be talking about an important thing. I don't know what.
A thing?
It was hidden
Any hints about where?
on the other side
I'm
of the hole.
I'm sorry, he didn't ask as to why.
Then it tells how to pull back this part of entrance, whatever that means. It's pretty vague.
There are some things that man was not meant to understand.
Yeah.
Or maybe we shouldn't be
This one even
judgy.
a woman is having a hard time with.
Like Leela said, there are some things we have yet to understand. There are some things we will never understand.
Yep.
But
Well, you know.
believe it or not, that slab that we picked up from the museum that we talked about to the creature and showed Maggie is the next step we have to take.
Yeah, I
And-
just think they're being very judgmental for a species that can barely escape its own gravity. So, you know,
Actually, the
yeah.
the Bungie cutscene line I was thinking of through that conversation wasn't Leela's. There may be some things people never understand. More of the Exo Strangers, I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time
Why
to
I don't have time
explain.
to explain.
Because that was a lot of nonsense and hand waving in that conversation.
So, I'll show you what's, because this is also a part where I remembered I need to look up a guide because the next step wasn't clear to me.
wait a minute, we're
And it-
consulting the
Oh,
Book of Armaments
this-
with this?
This wasn't clear. This part,
Thi-
this part is not
Well,
clear.
the part that we're about to do is not clear because I had no idea that the tablet was the next step. Because you get that so early in the game, and Maggie says it's vague. The creator says he didn't write it, so
So
what
the
can
bit
do?
where you knocked over the rock to divert the water into the grate and then tell the woman who's being held captive by the tentacles to rip off part of the grate with her bare hand to spray water at the monster. That part was obvious.
Oh, yeah, that was totally.
Well, the fact that the game forced you to go into a different area that you initially would not go to was a
But did
hint.
it didn't force you. You left the room like
It did.
Yeah,
It,
and
when,
not
when
even
Boston
not
first
even
leaves
left.
the room, the game did
I would
that.
say
I did
I
not
would
do
say
that.
Sonder.
really. That makes
Really?
no sense. But then the characters
Yeah,
are
no.
objecting. I mean, literally, if I was playing that,
Yeah.
I'd be like, why did you do that? I didn't need to do that. And the characters are literally saying, don't leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
That's-
going against suggesting
think-
of your co-players.
I think I might hazard an observation that I think that's a terrible design.
Yes.
Or-
there are things in here that are just not, casual players just would not get.
Yeah. Well, what I find
like, for
amazing
example,
is that it wasn't even the next room. It was literally 2 spaces
Yeah, it's
away.
multiple screens away.
Yeah. So so
Okay.
even if you had to do something in another room, it
Hieroglyphics.
wasn't even that.
okay, so looking at this, can you tell me what we need to do next?
It
I
looks
know
like
there's a
lower
Y-wing. We established
lower
that earlier.
graphics.
Not a chance.
Okay, what am I looking at? Okay, there's something that looks like the Enterprise. There's
There's a
a
chicken
couple,
walker on the right hand side there.
I don't know, one level of either, I can't tell if it's Dig Dug or is that Donkey Kong? I can't tell.
Well, either
Deca
way,
says this
here's
is
what-
purposefully obtuse instead of accidentally obtuse.
Ah, well, there you go. Obtuse in the extreme.
So,
I have to go get a pack.
this is the room that we and here's the thing. You see this little strange field?
Yep.
Of crystals.
It's shimmering.
I gotta go pick up a package. I'll be
A
back.
light that doesn't seem real. As if it's just on the edge of existence.
It makes me think of something. Something I saw earlier. Or maybe I read it.
And you see that's supposed to be the hint that it's the tablet. So, you actually have to take the tablet and show it to her in this
No.
specific area for it to actually do
Okay,
anything.
so the part of that was the hint of the tablet was maybe I read it.
Yes. She doesn't say
Okay.
specifically what. She just says, I read, and I was like, that could have been anywhere.
Yeah, that's
But-
not. Yeah. Great.
Can you look at this inscription, Maggie? Does it say anything that might help?
Boston. It exactly describes that strange field of almost light.
What does it say?
It's a set of instructions. Now it makes perfect
Glad she's
sense.
getting it.
I think it might even have been more legit
Twist this.
if right
It's so
after.
simple when you read the directions.
If we didn't know better, we'd think that island had been there for 1,000,000 years.
You're saying, Narc?
I was just saying, I think it might have been legit that when we first got together with her and revealed that she could speak the language, that Boston just went straight up and says, well, now that you understand the language, would you like to look at these? And they would just open your inventory so you could give her anything you had and get that right there. I mean, I think that's logical, right?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, I did. After we talked to the creator, I showed her the tablet, and she
She doesn't.
And, yeah, she said, this is too vague.
That's bad.
And it's only
That's
when
bad.
it's only when you're in this area that you show her the tablet that she even knows what to do with it.
Okay.
Don't like that.
So yeah, so in your mind, you've already shown her the tablet, so why would you show her again?
Yeah, why
in
would
this
you do it
area
again?
since
Right.
There's nothing marked in this room that's on that tablet. Not even this glowing panel there. So yeah, while you're away, Black Star, I showed her the tablet, she messed with these controls, and it revealed this island in the center of the lake.
Okay. Now that's reminiscent of the same ones that Brink is messing with, right? I mean, a lot of the rock formations look
Yeah,
natural, but they're actually
This island
technology.
was brought back from another dimension.
Is that what it was?
This island was
Space
brought back
time
from another
6.
dimension. This island was brought back
I forgot.
from another
There's a
dimension.
pixel hunting bit for the opening. Otherwise, you're just
Right.
gonna keep on.
Oh, this is.
clicking around.
I did
Wow,
not
that's
see that was
evil.
there.
No.
No.
What was so important that they left us exact instructions on how to get here?
Maybe that metal plate over there.
Yes, the spinning one in midair.
You know how they love metal plates.
Mm-hmm.
I was also having trouble kind of reconciling the whole, well, we made it really hard to get here and talk to me because that way only the cleverest, most dangerous aliens would do it. And then the other part was, oh, but this was also a big warning because we sent out probes to tell people to come here, but then we changed our minds and told them not to come here. So come here so we can tell you, go away. But you have to fight your way all the way down here and revive me to get that because I'm dead. And
Right. Hey, but
Yeah,
at least
this
they're
game-
really into metal on this planet. Daily style. Chugga jigga wugga. Okay, so yeah, as far as them wanting to attract the most intelligent and dangerous of species, my question would be then what? Those are the ones you want to talk to, or those are the ones you're trying to warn away, or those are the ones you think won't be attracted to try and follow your species into space-time 6? I'm trying to understand the motivation.
intelligent and dangerous on rye bread with some mayonnaise.
Right.
Those probes
I
were
mean-
sent out. Those probes were sent out before they discovered space-time 6.
Okay.
Because as was demonstrated in that one museum display, it showed what the initial process of those probes returning to this planet was going to be, where they would meet and greet, and they would share with these alien species their discoveries, which was that graph at the end of that display.
Right, but
So
then there's a whole
recipes.
bit where they regret having done that, and they're supposed to warn you away, but you can't get the warning until you hang around long enough to get down to that guy. So to me, that's like the one question is like, why did you make it so hard and cryptic to get down here and talk to you? Oh, so that you to make sure you're worthy of hearing the warning, which is to say, don't come here.
Why wasn't there an automated message to say that the planet is temporarily closed? That's what I want to know.
Well, the creator said that they could not alter the probes once they were set.
Yeah,
They could
I
not
think-
recall
No,
them.
No, not the
Yeah.
probes. I mean, when they landed on the planet, why wasn't there a plaque to say, sorry, planet closed,
Because
open 9 to 5,
They-
a millennium from now?
The creator. The creator
think-
was dead, and everyone stepped into space-time.
Yeah,
leaving
I think that's what it
behind
is that they only realize their regret after they've essentially left the dimension and then can't alter the environment that they've left, nor can they return to it, which is why the guy's setting up like, well, the only way you could solve this is to bring us all back from there, but you can't do that, so just go on without me. I'll be fine. I'll be all right.
Well, that's just
worry
it.
about me.
It's like, seriously, they had no foresight to think like, hey, if we're going to be going to another higher dimension, does that, did nobody lock the house when we left? And apparently not. So I would find
they
that
locked
incredibly embarrassing to a highly advanced
It's like the metal
species.
plates on Attila. These four should fit together in that triangle matrix.
Yes, but there's no
How do you
guarantee
spell
that
it?
putting them together will take us anywhere we want to go.
You have the most cheerful thoughts, Ms. Robbins.
Anywhere's better than here.
If you had been abducted by a monster and then half drowned, you might be pessimistic too.
But you lived, didn't you? And your hair looks terrific again.
You sure know how to make
God.
a girl feel good.
That's just,
We better go find
Creepy,
Brink.
Boston. Just
In case
creepy.
These metal plates do the job.
He threatened to kill me the last time I saw him. Maybe it would be safer if we leave him and send an expedition back to get him later.
Or not.
An armed expedition.
There's no guarantee we'll ever get back. For all we know, this is a one-way trip.
You're right. We can't leave him. He scares me, Boston.
Sure we can.
Yeah, we can.
Worse
Yeah, we
than a
can.
monster.
They're both just hungry for something.
But Brink is smarter, more dangerous.
We're smart too.
And a zombie,
Okay,
apparently.
so these are pretty much the same plates that we encountered in the asteroid that sent us here.
It won't
And
accomplish
he
anything.
believes that since these are the same thing, that putting them together in the right place will help get them home. And the creator
Could they
said
possibly
they
be
do
a
lead.
puzzle?
And the creator did say that they do lead to something incredible. So
Yes. Their
see
intelligence
what-
test is a
Fabulous object in the world.
yes. The intelligence test is a jigsaw puzzle with 5 pieces. 5.
Collect all
let's
5.
see if we can.
Literally.
Let's see if we can go find. Let's see if we can go find Brink and, ask him to tag along with
Yeah.
us in a very
Also,
friendly way.
Why does Robbins think that Brinks is smarter than the creature? I don't think we have
Yeah,
reason
I
to
mean,
think that at all.
I don't think. I
Yeah.
think she was just saying he's smarter than what he originally
Smarter than
was,
he used
not
to be.
smarter than
yeah,
the
I think
creature.
she's just saying that he's scared of him more than the creature, and that he's smarter than
And the
one.
and the creature was the spider, mind you.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
I'm surprised
okay.
he didn't go into a wet T-shirt
Oh, wait.
contest joke, and
Wait.
she barely even got moist. So it's like,
That
what's
was a
the problem?
powerful one.
Crazy.
Commander Low, can you hear me?
Brink,
Oh, now you
we're
need
looking
our help.
for you. We've got the last of the metal plates and we...
Listen to me, Commander. I'm trapped. I need your help.
Where are
Alexa
you?
doesn't
Sorry, I'm
understand
busy.
It's near one of the light bridges. An arched bridge over a waterfall, and then into a crevice in the rock. You must have been there. You're the one who's been turning on all the light bridges, aren't you?
Hold tight, we're on our
Maybe.
way.
Hold tight! Very funny.
So, does anyone remember a crevice in the rock? More specifically, one that had a glow into it. More
Lots of
specifically, the one that
rocks.
Boston refused to put his hand into.
Okay, so this is either a trick where we're going to see what he's been up to, or it's just that they needed a convenient thing for why would Brink work with you yet again. So just like the first one where you had to take the life crystals and threaten him that you wouldn't
Okay,
give him back.
it
Now
is-
he has to be in trouble of some kind.
Well, here's the thing. Does anyone else pick up the irony how he had absolutely no ambitions or motivations whatsoever to help Maggie in distress, and now he's whining on the radio, "Come save me, Boston!
Well, that's
I
why-
need help." It's like,
that's why I'm worried
sorry.
that
Go
it's,
F yourself, Brink.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
just-
why I'm worried that it's a trap. But I don't know if the game's doing that, so.
Well, luckily the protagonist is following video game logic and saying, well, content over there if I go save him.
So this is the area that Brink was talking about, the planetarium, the light bridge by the waterfall,
Uh-huh.
and
I do not remember the crevice.
Okay, so he really is stuck.
You've just got your hand jammed in the rock? I thought you were in real trouble, Brink.
Help me, step bro.
Okay, yes, exactly right.
I knew you were thinking it, Funk.
When it's your hand,
I don't go sticking my hand in the cracks.
I was reaching for a life crystal, and then the rock shifted. My circulation is cut off. No blood is getting to my hand. You can't pull me out, Commander. Don't leave me to die here, even if you have to cut off my hand.
Okay.
Oop, 127 hours.
Nobody's going to cut off your hand.
Don't
Why
make
not?
promises you might not be able to keep, Maggie.
Yeah, there you go.
Get the shovel. The shovel will work.
Shovel,
Are you
yeah, the
serious? He's
Why
just
not?
a silk hand.
It's sharp.
It's a race to see whether gangrene kills him before he dies of thirst or starvation.
You'd cut
Nope.
it off.
Of course he would. The military trains you to recognize necessity and do it.
It would be
Yeah,
easier
he told
if
me
I had
to.
anything to cut it with.
Shovel.
Chew it off, then.
Oh, I
Ew.
would,
Chew it off.
but human teeth can't bite through bone.
After all
Not
that's
very
happened
well.
to us, this may be the most horrible.
Do something, Commander. Do it now.
Okay. I
Do
will
it.
say this,
Do
in
it
the
now.
initial-
Get to the
No.
the
chopper.
initial builds of this game, you were running against the clock on this because the tide would be coming in here and
Oh, and that's why he thinks
and
this
Brink
is
would
so
be in the
urgent.
risk of drowning. But since
I
they
see.
cut that part out, they now just say he could be dying of gangrene anytime.
Right.
Like,
Okay,
oh,
I'm
quick.
still struggling to find a downside
It's
to
not gonna-
any of this thing. All he has to do is say, "Stay right here. I'll be back." Maybe,
So you want
and
me to use
just
the
walk away.
shovel?
Yeah, you just
Sure,
got-
why not? I mean,
Smack him in the face.
game's called The Dig
I
for
would
a
die
reason.
on count.
I don't
To be
think
honest,
that'll
I would
cut it.
probably chop
Oh,
off his head
Shell's not
and
gonna
end
do
it
it.
quickly. What,
Right,
what kind of a
exactly.
crappy
Come out of
shovel
this
is
business.
this?
Get me out of here, or I'll.
Or you'll what?
Please get me out of here.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You'll say please again. Yeah. Shut up, Brink.
All right, what's the point?
Ooh,
Rib
ooh,
gauge?
I got a great idea.
rib cage.
We can set them on fire with the magnifying glass. We just gotta wait for the sun to get in the right spot.
I would say the tusk, except you literally told me last week that we never use that again. So
Never
it
use
can't
the
be
tusk.
that.
well,
the
we
jaw?
could stab him in the skull.
Oh, it's the jaw.
Yeah.
It's the jaws of life. Use the jaws of life to get him out.
Oh man, we could stick a crystal up his butt and turn him into a flashlight.
If that works, I'm gonna be so
You
pissed.
sure, Narc?
Yeah, do it.
Well, video game logic, we're gonna try everything.
You're having a
Saw
laugh.
off his hand with a jawbone?
Yes,
Teeth are razor sharp.
do it.
The
What about
dumbest.
anesthetic?
No.
Do it, Commander.
Yeah, go ahead and pee on him. There's your anesthetic. What anesthetic? What?
Brace yourself, Brink.
He was bracing himself on the raft and then.
I can't believe you endured so much
Whoa.
pain without
Oh.
fainting.
I'm fine, but I need more crystals.
Come with us to the Triangle Matrix. We've got all the metal plates. We think it's gonna take us.
Yeah, is that gonna regenerate?
You don't know where it's going to take you.
It has not regenerated his hand.
I'd rather gather more life crystals.
What if it does take us home, Brink? What if we can't come back and get you? Do you want to stay here forever?
Well, give the man a
What
hand.
happened to your research into the life crystals?
Yes,
Well,
I
his
see
new
your
friends.
point. I'll go with you to try out these metal plates. But if it doesn't get us home, then you two will stop interfering with me from then on. All right? You agree?
Okay,
We have a
here-
deal?
Agreed.
You're ruining Burning Man for me.
All right.
This reminds
Okay,
me of a very dumb scene from the movie The Core. If they don't get home, what is the point of his research? If he researches his entire life and then dies on his planet by himself, what is the point?
His research is into maximizing the amount of time he can get high off life crystals. That's what he means by research. Okay, so
I don't
Jeyl, I
get
want to
it.
know: was there another solution to that? Was that a choice, or that was just it? That's the answer, and that's
That
the
was
only
it.
answer there is.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
It's even in the novelization. You cut it off, and he doesn't wait for you to cut it completely off. He rips it right out and then puts the stump into a life crystal.
Okay, but
And-
for real
yeah.
worldness, I'm sorry, the shovel would have been a better choice because
Oh, for sure.
it's metal,
Leverage.
razor sharp, has a handle,
It's not-
and he could have literally probably swiped it off in one good whack if he had tried. Maybe two.
My dad
was
got
the
his
jawbone
This was a shovel.
using it
shovel
as a
when he was-
saw.
Absolutely,
Nah,
it literally
sorry.
happened to my dad in his backyard. It's totally legit.
You lost your
Yeah.
hand?
Okay, so
My dad and his brother,
All right.
they were digging a hole in the backyard. My dad was in the hole. The mom called him in. My grandma called him in for lunch. My uncle Jeff put the shovel in the ground like you do, you know, stick it in the ground because it's fun. Oh, my dad was pushing himself out of the hole, cut half his hand off.
Shovels are
they're
incredibly
like
sharp.
7
Deck
inch-
is saying that
right?
shovel is not sharp. Yeah, that's not a good
It
space
isn't.
shovel then. So
Well, not
That's
anymore.
a shovel fail.
what are you gonna do with a sharp
The
shovel?
game's
Cut
got the
rock?
game's got durability. We used the shovel too many times. It's now dull. So go ahead.
Every good shovel is
jigsaw
sharp.
puzzle.
Trust me.
Jigsaw puzzle. Go.
Okay, yeah, the game is forcing you into this puzzle. You have to complete it to proceed.
Okay, is anyone else having some OCD problems with Jail's organization of materials?
No,
What?
no, it's
I'm
great.
ignoring it.
All right. I think you should put all
Okay,
the
but
butt
you're
plugs
feeling
on
it
the
though,
right,
Dark.
and
You
the,
got to
the
admit,
Benoit ball got to put on the left, and then there
you
should be
put
all
the
I
things
swear
with
to
the right
God.
things. You got all these rods all not organized and color coded, and I just wanted Narc to admit that his OCD was kicking in.
Do what? What's happening?
Nothing is happening, that's what.
I love how they made Brink's avatar pale now that he's injured, but he's still just a wise
Yes.
ass.
It's not exactly nothing, Brink.
It's a door. You think
Not
Earth
as full
is
of
on the other
them.
side? I think nothing is on the other side.
What did you expect? The Tooth Fairy to come and fly us all home? The door opened. Let's go see what's in there.
We had a deal.
This cave is not a natural formation. It obviously leads somewhere.
And now you will have to leave me alone forever. You gave me your word, and I expect you to keep it.
You can expect all you want.
Silly.
Definitely insane.
Like,
Why is he antagonizing the only help available on the entire planet?
because he doesn't want
Opinion
help.
as a sane person.
He wants to be
All
left
right, let's
alone with
pers-
his life crystals. You don't
But he
understand
also wants
me.
to get off the planet, which he is not going to do.
No, he doesn't.
Armless.
Actually, no. At this
Not-
point,
not-
literally, he doesn't.
Really... Yeah.
So who cares about
this
his
is-
research then? I still don't
But
understand
like
it. That makes
the
no sense to
door,
me.
again, his
Who are you
research
researching
is into
for?
how to get higher off life crystals. Like the door could have gone to a
Geo, no-
teleporter or a spaceship or any one of a number of things to basically say, "I reject you because we weren't immediately teleported home when you
Well,
solved the puzzle."
Thank you.
Is a silly
I
objection.
Don't understand. Very
Even
much
by-
so. Yeah, I
even
don't
by
get
the
it.
current standards.
And
All right,
literally,
can we
if
pick up-
all he's doing is crystal freebasing.
Can we pick up some small rocks, or are we supposed to just use get another tram?
Get another tram. Although
Okay.
Geo9 will know why this is my favorite tram station out of all 5.
The waterfall in the middle?
It's blue.
Heck yes.
Okay.
I love waterfalls, especially when they're in video games.
Did you get one of
If
those
you like
pictures that you hang on
waterfalls
the
and
wall
public
that has the waterfall
transportation,
on it?
May I suggest Alewife Station or possibly Davis Square on the Red Line in Boston?
Oh, no, dude! You have no idea what's going on with the Boston Transit right now. It's
Yep.
in serious turmoil. No, don't bring that up.
All right, this is the final spire.
Where we also had to collect all 5.
The Spire of
I
Hubris.
saw something like this in the museum display. This machine was
Like
the
what? This
greatest
looks
of
like
the inventor's
everything.
achievements.
Exactly. Yeah.
What does it do?
I haven't the faintest
It's
idea.
a crumpled
What
oak
doesn't it
leaf
do?
made of rock.
Yeah. Exactly. With a glowing spot.
So we get a console.
Oh, look! Rocks! Also, is anyone else having some perspective problems with the way they have the forced perspective in certain angles and scenes? The way things warp around, what's foreground, what's background,
All right,
what's close,
we
what's
gotta
far?
is this a missing green thing? Yes, gap.
Yes.
Gap in machinery.
Looks like a life crystal would fit perfectly in here.
Oh, shove a life crystal.
Mind the gap.
Looks like
Great.
a
Now we
life
have
we
to
got
find the
two
specific one.
Okay, but that one
Now we have
doesn't look
3
like a life
slots.
crystal. What about this other one, this triangle one?
No, that looks like a life pie wedge.
That.
It looks like there's a part missing here.
So
Okay, that's not a life crystal.
There's a gap.
It's Trivial
yeah,
Pursuit.
these things. These things don't. Well, obviously these things here don't look like crystals, but these two things do. So
Senator, we
So-
cannot allow a life crystal gap.
Gap.
okay, but we're still missing a part.
It looks
Ah,
like there's
my
a part
God.
missing here.
Shovel.
Okay.
There's a
How about a
gap.
middle plate? Got another metal plate?
Hey, let's stick Briggs'
No,
other
we're-
hand in
we're-
there.
We're all. We still have the jawbone, but that won't help us.
Yeah, what happened?
wait a minute, wait. The triangle in the ball. What's the triangle in the ball there?
Oh,
We already used that.
I
It's
get it.
It follows a bracelet that we
Oh,
connected
okay.
to a critter.
Well, no,
What
it's just
happened
it
with
was
But they hint
triangle
about
shaped.
the
I thought.
jawbone
What happened to Brinks' hand?
Oh yes,
It's still in the
on
crack.
the rock.
Oh, why didn't we take it?
Geo9 in
Because
chat
it
says
because
pie
it's
is
stuck in there.
life.
Cut off.
Yeah, but I hate to
Oh.
say it, but cake trumps pie.
Even
I forgot to
pecan?
Try and turn on the invention.
Yes.
Jerry.
It's the only way to find out what it does.
What do we do? Search all these islands for a part when we don't even know what it looks like?
It's in that shape that probably glows green.
Where are all those helpful hints now?
The hints were about things they deliberately hid to keep them safe. But this missing part, what if it was stolen? Or just corroded away?
Then all of this would be for nothing. Boston, somebody knows what the missing part does, and maybe even where it is.
Well, I don't know.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about somebody who was sealed in a crystal pyramid.
Okay. So we have a missing part that we don't know where it is, and she
Thanks.
suspects the dead creator will know about it. So we got to pay him
seems
another
reasonable.
visit.
Right. So we have to keep waking the dead.
Let's
saying,
do it.
Hey, give us a hint. Now, can he leave that spot, or is he like stuck there forever, waiting for randos to come by and juice him up with life crystals?
Also, where's
leave one
Brink
spot.
gone?
He's probably gone back to that machine he was working on.
But there's a green thing. What about that?
Oh, is
green
well,
that
thing?
those are buttons.
Oh.
Oh.
And let me guess, they're non-transferable.
Exactly.
Geo9 has strawberry rhubarb? Yes. Even strawberry rhubarb.
Eli?
Okay, Black Star, this one's for you. We have a light bridge.
Even Boston
The
Green.
last one in the game.
Okay.
Is that a bird nest there?
It's a strange device.
Okay,
Okay,
Death
we have
Star.
a Death Star. We have Death Star right there.
R2-D2 on his
We have
side.
Yep.
Yep, even his leg right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's an A-wing. I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's
they're
okay,
dis-
Funk.
They're deciphering the
Oh
pictograms.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that the bottom one's a Y-wing. I could see that.
Okay, so Black Star, what do we do? How do we fix this bridge?
Well, it seems to be crap all over it, so pee on it.
The nest?
Yell at it.
Oh, is that birds?
Shovel.
Or is those bats? Those are flying things, right?
I think they're birds. They sound like
Okay.
birds, and it look like a seagull with a long beak.
Yeah, it sounds like.
But do we
seagulls.
have any? Do we have any bread? Do we have any crumbs we can throw down?
Sorry, bird. You'll have to find a new home.
Oh my God, he's totally gonna pitch off the
Gonna
nest.
kick the bird nest.
You jerk! You
At
couldn't
least
have
it
picked
didn't
it up
look
and moved it to the side of 3 feet.
He has not established that he's a particularly nice.
No, everybody in this is a douche.
So now that all 5 bridges are completed,
Uh-huh.
I can almost feel the surface.
That's okay. It can almost feel you.
Alright.
Okay, I got one question. If everyone is going to space-time 6, why does 5 seem to be the prevalent number of items in their culture? 5-sided buttons, 5-sided tram, 5-sided... Do you know what I mean? Why isn't it 6?
Because when they reached 6, their
They-
civilization collapsed.
Yeah.
Yep. Besides, 5D usually involves smell in the theater.
Right. And why is that thing a triangle? That's the least amount of surface area that you could have for a platform slash.
I mean, honestly, if I had to answer the question, really, the answer is that basically is that this is very clearly influenced by Rama, and everything in Rama is based on threes, so it had to not be that. So they had to have a numerological obsession, but it couldn't be 3, so it had to be something else.
Right.
So,
but
6,
every time
5,
in sci-fi stories,
whatever.
there's always a culture that permeates that has a number obsession, numerological, cohesions or whatever. Yeah, I just never understood why it seems to be all over the place.
Now, does the thing about this doesn't really bring me back to life and eventually it won't actually have a gameplay implication? Like, is there a limited number of times you can wake this dude up and talk to him?
No.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like literally his one job is like, welcome to the information counter. I'm your host.
What is it now?
Yeah, I'm surprised he has literally not been bothered yet. Oh, and also pyramids. Three-sided pyramids? What's up with that? Also, the least amount of space in there. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon.
They look cool.
All right.
Nice
Let's
to
talk
see
about the
you
light
too.
bridges. Just one.
He's never happy to see us.
The light bridges are magnificent. We never dreamed that people could.
They were our third biggest mistake.
Yes. We were happily surprised at how convenient those light strands turned out to be.
Oh, okay.
If we had known, we would not have bothered to build the trams.
On the contrary, I like the trams.
If you were surprised that the lights could be used as bridges, what did you create them for?
When all the bridges are complete, the eye will see.
When you say the
Mike-
eye will see, you aren't talking about our eyes, are you?
An eye that can see the 3 dimensions of time, as well as the 3 dimensions of space. It will show you beauty beyond belief. But once you have seen Space-Time 6, will you ever see Space-Time 4 again? The eye may be open.
Yes, by
but
definition
the
of
mind
dimensionality.
hasn't the strength to see.
So these bridges into Space-Time 6 are interconnected, and this alien device that we are trying to find a part to may also have something to do with it.
My question is, did they come up with light railings? Because apparently they haven't.
Where the lights all shine, it opens the eye.
Well, if there's only one employee, they're not
The
subject
eye.
to OSHA.
Does that mean the crystal at the meeting place of the light bridges? The machine generated this eye.
The eye sees into all space and time. And where the eye sees, the mind can fly.
Can you stop being metaphorical about the damn eye and be literal?
People went.
A door that can be crossed only one way.
You don't know that. If someone has a strong enough tie to reality,
You think you are stronger than all my people? Even they, the strongest race known, could not overcome the temptation before it was too late.
if we bring your people back to this world, then they can build a starship to take us home to Earth. It's our only chance. Maybe we'll fail, but you must let us try.
Since you think you are stronger and wiser than my people, I will let you have the fruit of your pride. I will tell you how
We
to
call it
find
pride
inside
fruit.
you, if you know how to ask. But it will cost you more than you ever imagined.
Okay.
Brink? I'll be happy to pay
Are
Brink.
we at a good spot to take a break or not?
Where is the missing piece?
You cannot understand what will begin
1 minute.
if you activate the eye. You cannot bear to pay what it will cost you.
And we have some time. It doesn't need to be
Yes,
now.
You've warned us. Now where is the piece?
Go to the map with this message and see what it shows you.
What message?
I have said enough.
I think you've said too much, because nobody ever seems to want to really graphically explain the warnings.
By giving up,
Yeah.
never look into the impossible eye. You don't have the strength to return from that place.
Shut your eyes, Marion.
Well, here's my question. Why is she doubting that this would be a bad thing? If obviously these people who are way more intelligent and
Pick up the
stronger
thing
than
on the
we are,
ground.
I'm not even
where is
sure
her arrogance coming from? I don't get
I'm not
it.
even really sure she doubts it. It's just that is the solution for the game. The idea is basically we do have to solve this. We're not getting out of here any other way. Of course, why they would want to come back from this place, we're not sure yet. It's because they seem unable to. Why they're going to build us a spacecraft just because they do without compensation? I guess there's no capitalism in space. You know,
why would they bother? It's
Truly
like,
a horror.
hi, I'm gonna bring you back from paradise to come build us a car because we're stuck. And
They
they're
don't
just
want
gonna
me in
do it?
paradise, and this would be their thanks to getting them out.
Oh, well, if that's the case, again, the explanation would be, okay, they're in hell, and they would be grateful if you were to do it.
Yeah, I think the thing is that like this character speaks cryptically and disinterestedly, kind of like think of like Morla in
Neverending Story,
in Neverending Story, and notice how they reinforce that. Like I think they know that it's frustrating to have characters that speak this way, to speak cryptically and mystically. And part of the reason was just that, like, Mori is supremely disinterested in you and your problems and your questions. He doesn't care. So, you really got to dig it out of them. This one is like, I'm here to like provide a warning and atone for my sins and transgressions, and that's why all this stuff is here. But then when you're like, but look, none of this stuff works. Our species isn't going to heed this warning if we don't get back to tell it. So you have to at least allow us to attempt this. And he's like, no, it's too perilous. Can I at least have a little peril? No. It's,
no.
I think he's got a big not my job syndrome. Like, all I was told to do was work.
Yeah,
but I think that's the thing. And if that's the case, then why would we think or assume that his returning species would be any different?
But that's in direct conflict with him saying, I chose to remain here as a guardian to warn people against the dangers of all of this stuff. Now, again, part of that is don't go to Space-Time 6, and that's what we're asking to do, right? So I kind of get it, but anyway.
Well, the worst thing that could happen if we do go to Space-Time 6 would be we would be trapped there as well.
Now, okay,
but how is that worse than being trapped
and
here?
why is that why is that bad being on a planet where we're going to starve to death?
Yeah.
There's no mall, there's no friends. Obviously, you guys are not hitting it off. So, and you'd have to share a planet with Brink. I'm sorry, Space-Time 6 is looking better every day, so tell me I'm wrong.
But we're at a good break spot at this point.
Okay, so is this a good breaking spot then say 10 minutes from now? Because if it is, then let's just take the break early and do it now.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for bringing us to this lovely planet. For those just tuning in, you're watching the Rampancy.net playthrough of The Dig. We're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
We're responsible adults.
Not making noises.
And we're back.
All right. So now that we have this rod, that these
Crazy.
indentations, we have to go to the map room since this will not open a door.
So why this
Look.
rod?
He's back inside the pyramid. I promise you, I really did revive him, and he really did talk to me.
I believe you, Boston.
Huh?
Can you revive him again?
I have no idea why
She-
that came up.
You were literally
Oh, wow.
here. You saw it. You
Yeah.
you spoke with him. What are you
I
talking
think
about?
that
I guess
was
you were supposed to
triggering-
trigger that earlier, and you never did.
Yeah,
so.
that's an early
Yeah.
trigger. Oh wow, okay, that's funny. It's a repeatable thing from that angle in that scene, because that angle is probably one when you first met him and first encountered him. Oh, that's funny.
Let's go to the map and see what we can see.
Yeah, Deca says that's a broken flag. So now that we've collected all 5 spires,
So the combination for this one is a green that shape. Bear with me,
let me
folks,
guess.
this may
Wait,
take a
hold on.
while.
It's XYZZY, right?
There's not that
Put X in
many
the center
digits
square.
here to- You two are crazy.
Just pop culture contaminated.
And a
It was
blue
funny. I
board
was
cube.
watching someone play the graphical remake of Colossal Cave by by the couple that did King's Quest. And it was funny to watch them play it for the first time and just ask questions like, "Oh, how do the magic words work? If I say it again, will it bring me back?" And like,
Wait.
"Yes, it will."
Oh, great. That wasn't the rod. Ugh. I am an idiot.
Spare the rod, you'll spoil those aliens.
Ugh. That just get.
Jeyl, can you say that wasn't the rod? It was a rod lobster like Fred from the B-52s?
I got the first part, but I didn't get it. It's like, okay, fine. That wasn't the rod. Are you happy?
But say it like Fred from the B-52s.
I've never listened to the B-52s.
What?
Yes, despite everything, I haven't listened to everything.
Jail's just a little baby.
Well,
Yeah,
according to
but
Deca, the nature of
B-52s,
infinity is
everyone
that
knows
everything
that.
happens at least once, just not to you. So you missed the B-52s. So while we're playing with the ruby rod here,
doesn't infinity mean that everything happens an infinite number of times to
Yes.
everybody?
Everywhere, all at once.
yes, great film, highly recommend. Okay, so you made fart
That's what
clouds.
it
Now what?
is.
Assuming he gave us the right code.
Okay, so now that part was actually in the beach part that we were in earlier when we were trying to rescue Maggie that had no purpose whatsoever.
So explain to me: we're going to each of the consoles and we're aligning the shapes to match the rods, or the rods are telling us?
Yeah, I don't see
What
the connection
shapes
here.
we need.
What's what's the connection between the part we want, which rod we use? I mean, I get it, right? You use that in a certain way, and it shows you a location, and the location is the place where the missing piece is. But what's the connection
Yes.
between the missing piece we want and the thing you used to trigger the image?
Right.
The rod is just an identifier to either open a door or show you something in the map room.
Okay. So what
But-
tells you the sequence in each of the controls for The
Easy.
crystal
So
buttons.
this is the rod the creator gave us. We can
Yes.
examine the rod, and here are the shapes that we need to input into either a door console or the console in the map room.
Okay, is it just shapes or is it shapes
Okay.
and colors?
Shapes and colors. These
And
can be
sequence.
in green,
Okay.
red, and blue.
Okay.
Yes,
and how do we know which rod goes to which console?
Okay, so that's the new
That's-
rod he gave
They
us
are labeled.
after we begged him to let us try and do this thing and bring people back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he threw it
Okay,
on the
alright.
ground in front of the main character.
Maggie,
Because you're the most clever and
across.
violent of the characters.
Okay, so this is where we were before, just briefly, when I said it did nothing but. If you did not look up the creator's rod in the map room, this eye part indication here would not show itself.
So you couldn't find that just by doing a pixel hunt. You had to use
That is
the rod
correct.
and see the picture.
Yes, that using
And
the rod in the map
that
room
is
triggers this to
irritating.
be...
And why is this here?
This is where he hit it.
He hit it. Okay, all right.
Why is any of it here?
I wish
But
I
didn't
knew what's
destroy
going to
it.
happen when I get this piece back
But
in
did not
place.
destroy it.
He could have put it in a
no,
desk
that-
drawer.
But why would he even hide it? He said the thing wouldn't work.
Right. Why wouldn't he destroy it like a normal person? Because secretly his ego could not let that happen. He needed to have available to be discovered later by some violent
There's a
species that
non-zero
was really
chance
smart.
That is it. He
I
does
feel like this-
seem like an egotistical butthole, you know?
Oh.
We're getting a lot of noise from you now, Funk.
I think he's getting some interference on his.
I feel like the game is
cell
suffering
carrier.
anytime Brink isn't saying things.
Well,
Because you think
Okay,
even
now
though
the
he's the
game-
jerkiest, he's the most intelligent.
I think he's doing unintentional comic relief, and that's the biggest part of the appeal. Like part of the thing that works against bad adventure game logic and puzzles that are kind of arbitrary and hard to figure out is whimsy, right? It's the whimsy of
Yeah.
stuff like Sam and Max and Monkey Island games that make you forgive it that not everything you need to do is strictly speaking logical. You know, it's just funny that you use a rubber chicken and a pulley to get over a zip line. And so it doesn't matter that it doesn't make sense that you do that because that's not a universe in which things, strictly speaking, need to make
No,
sense.
It's
But-
very self-aware. But here, they don't seem to be self-aware about the environment that they're in at all. Because I
Yeah.
swear, none of these platforms would fit a size of any of the characters we've met so far on this planet.
Yeah, the comedy
noticed?
here is supposed to be character driven, not world driven, right? It's a bunch
Right.
of wiseacring smart people needling each other over the situation they're in, but the world wants you to take it seriously. It's real stakes.
Right.
It's important. We're all gonna die. We're gonna starve. We're gonna be trapped here. You know,
But
a
the
bunch of
doors
aliens
are
are
too
trapped in a
small.
hell dimension that they were tempted
Yeah.
into.
Right. And yet the doors are too small for the species. These platforms, I swear to God, would not fit half of one of his legs. And the tram balls that we've had could not fit more than one person. I can't imagine a society living with
Yeah.
a tram that literally had room for
And-
one person.
And
So-
some of the stakes are kind of laughably low, where it's like, you know, Brink is literally warned, be careful with that shovel, and then he opens up a hole and he falls down it and dies. And then we resurrect
go.
him and he becomes a drug addict, and then he sticks his hand. Like, is there any ever answer? Why was Brink sticking his hand in that crevice?
Oh, because he was looking
was
for
a
another life crystal. That was his excuse. There's another one in there he was trying to
But there
get
was a
and got
room
stuck.
full of them.
Right, exactly.
He's
Making no sensey.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeyl.
okay, so I paused the game because I don't know if you noticed, but I am no longer in control of this game right now. We just
Are
initiated.
we on autopilot?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Maybe
Oh,
they'll
wow.
explain why those platforms are so
And
narrow.
I also wanted, because since it was going to go on without me, I couldn't stop to let you guys ban
Right,
it,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I had to pause it here.
Right.
So are we ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I guess so. Have to go plot furthering. You do see my point about those platforms, right? They're barely wide enough for these idiots.
It's not just the platform.
look who it is.
Small, but they're stupid
Where
looking.
have you been?
Yeah.
Where have we been?
I need your crystals. All of them. Right now.
Come on, Brink. How many crystals can one man use?
Not
You
for-
don't want to know.
I need them for my machine. For science. Research.
My science
Give them to
machine.
me.
Machine? What are you talking about?
I'm through talking. I'm not going to let anybody stand between me and the greatest scientific achievement in history.
Well, technically that means the prior species achieved it. You're just discovering their discovery.
What are you doing? What is this idiot doing?
I only have these few crystals left, Brink, but I'll be glad to share some of them if you want.
All of them! You didn't share anything, Lo. I took them! And it's a good thing you didn't fight me. I would have killed you to get these.
I don't know. You've only got one fist now.
You two will be nothing but a footnote in the annals of my achievements.
He didn't damage the machine part, did he?
All right, let's see. What
I
we
don't know,
got.
Boston. Last time you guys
Why
fought, he
the-
cold-cocked you and walked away with all the crystals you had at the moment. I
Right.
think he can do it again. I mean,
Even one-handed.
what the heck?
I'm
So,
sorry.
we have the-
We've got.
Okay, all right.
Hold on. We've got Maggie, we've got a shovel, we've got a flashlight, we've got a very sharp jarbone, and a bunch of these rods, and you mean to tell me we couldn't use any of those to beat this guy to death?
Nothing that I could do, at least.
Okay, that's just bad design.
And so when the character was not in your control, Brink just asked, "Give me those two things," and he's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." Even though we know
Yeah,
that
but-
they're
yeah,
essential elements to solve a puzzle.
Right. Of
Yes.
which you can simply go back to the
I-
pit and get two more.
I
That
object.
scene can play out. That scene can play out a little differently. If you didn't put those eggs, the life crystals, in this machine, Boston would have simply given him the ones that he had entirely on him
had.
anyways.
Okay. Now
The
I'm
game
guessing
is.
I'm guessing he thinks it's okay to do because he thinks he can go and get a bunch more, and now we're gonna go there and find out that Brink's already cleaned out the supply already, hasn't he?
Let's find out.
And once Brink makes this
The machine still
incredible
doesn't
discovery,
work.
who's he gonna
Did
tell?
the alien lie to us? Or
Probably.
does the machine need something else?
You fool!
Looks
You
like a
know what the
light crystal
machine
fit
needs.
perfectly in here.
It's not keeping track of history though. It's only keeping track
No.
of state. It's saying that because
Yeah.
the life crystals aren't there anymore,
guess
and
I'll
since
take this
you
Yeah,
might
the-
not ever have put them in, it's trying to suggest
the-
to you
The
without telling you
dialogue
that it needs
components
them.
are not written to be universal,
Yeah,
to be at different stages at different states.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The part we found fits perfectly, but the machine still doesn't do anything.
There's a place just the right size for life crystals, remember?
You
Or
don't.
did you notice?
You think it needs a life crystal to work?
This record
I-
must be really
I
scratched.
noticed. I just wanted to see if you
just stole
noticed
them all.
that I noticed.
He stole yours, but he didn't steal mine. I have one.
You do?
Of course. I carried one with me. What if you died? It could happen. Even
could still
kids
happen.
get killed sometimes.
Okay, give it to me.
Suck it
I'll
to
put it
me.
in the machine. while
I
you're
was
up
waiting
on
for you to
the
say
floor.
that.
What, right here in front of
It
it?
started, but it only worked for a few
But
seconds.
here, now?
I think it needs more than one life crystal. Maybe
You
two,
think?
maybe three, maybe 300.
Great. Brink's the only
Maybe
one
your
who
pockets
has
aren't that
any.
deep.
By now, he's probably scoured every island and collected
And
them
that
all.
piece of dialogue is supposed to tell you that if you tried to go back to the museum spire in that crevice of crystals, it will be empty.
Okay.
Do we have
so
to
we gotta
do
go
that to advance, or can we just skip that part?
Beat up Brink.
We could totally skip that part.
Okay. All
Okay,
right. Let's
so let's
take
go
it
beat
as
up
let's
Brink.
take it as read that that's the case then.
Yep. I had a feeling these crystal
so-
hoarding was going to come to a head.
So she took one life crystal in case we died, but since Brink had already died once, She assumed he wouldn't die again, so she didn't take 2.
Maybe she never liked Brink in the first place.
I don't think she likes us.
If she does like us, she's a very tolerant woman.
Oh, Deca says, you may want to grab the machine part now and save some backtracking. Did you already do that?
Oh God, yes, that's right. That's Deca is right. Thank you,
Deca for the win! Thank you, Deca. Man, that could have dragged out a whole lot longer.
Yeah, even though you could double click to go to the next screen, you still have to go all the way up and all the way down this part.
Ugh. Well, like I said, this game does not have a sense of urgency. Nobody runs or hurries anyway. There's obviously no fast travel. So
Most adventure games
levels,
don't, though.
Yeah, can be. Well, it's just when your cohort is trapped by alien spider, which you're rushing to help, and you're just kind of sauntering around like you're waiting for a bus.
Now,
it really kills the sense of urgency. And
Why are we taking the machine part?
Well, because Deca told us to, but I gotta admit, logically, I would have assumed that if this is how you solve the puzzle, to just leave that there. Now, I don't know why we need to remove it. Is it to stop Brink from stealing it, or is it because we're going to use the part with something else somewhere else first? I don't know why we want to take it, and I wouldn't have done it if Deca hadn't said that, and Jeyl was like, oh yeah, you should.
Well, Deca is right, and I would much prefer to save time than...
Deca's always right. That's why he's Deca.
Deca's like, you'll see.
Alright, we need the life crystals. Brink has them. Let's go talk to Brink. And he apparently is hiding them somewhere else.
I thought he needed them for the machine.
Get away from here!
I'm doing science and research.
I won't let you break my life crystal machine.
Why does he think it's his?
Because he found it first.
The machine that generates the eye crystal over the central
But he
island.
didn't.
If you have a machine that makes life crystals, why can't you give some to us?
Wait, is that what it does?
Working yet? Yes, gloat if you want to. I've studied all the inscriptions. Maggie's not the only one who can decipher strange languages. I followed the plans I found, but there's still something missing, and without it the machine won't work. So if you think you can steal my life crystals again, Commander Lowe, think again. I'll kill you first, and believe me, no one will ever revive you.
Actually, you've robbed me twice, and I only robbed you once.
So you owe me one.
So you're still one ahead.
Don't joke with me!
Don't joke with him, Boston.
Okay. So if you look at the machine, there are some parts in it that look familiar. So...
Does it need machine parts, and that's why it's not working, and he didn't know that because he's a big dummy?
Yep.
I
Wait,
think I know
hold
what
on.
piece is missing from your
So-
machine.
How can you know
Why didn't
Okay,
he
Funk?
just use that crap that where he took the life crystals from?
Why didn't you take the what?
Okay, so we were just down there with him, with the glowy thing with the life crystals on it, and he basically wants to do the same thing with this crap.
Brink doesn't
Didn't
know
he just
about
use the
the
one that
eye
was already
part.
there? Surely he could identify. Oh, that's also a machine that does.
He didn't know. He also
Right?
didn't know we had it.
But
All three
the-
were inserted. They were just as visible. I could see Funk's argument.
Not all. We did not insert the eyepiece when we arrived at that council during.
Oh,
that
okay.
cutscene.
Because we were under cruise control there, right? So we couldn't. He stopped us from putting it in first. We put it in after he left, so he didn't see that we had that. Otherwise, we would have been foiled by his ability to recognize a simple geometric shape.
Plus, he would not have known where to find it because only the inventor knew where it was, and he gave us the rod for that. And we never
Right, so he
mentioned
couldn't
it to
have-
bring
he couldn't
it
have
forward.
found it on his
saw us next to that machine, wouldn't he have seen, hey, this is similar to the machine I'm building?
It could.
Fair.
It doesn't. Outside
even
of
if
the
he
color
did,
scheme,
He wouldn't have
it
known.
doesn't
Well,
look
but
He
shape and
somehow
color
built a
is the
machine with
only hint for the
interchangeable
player
parts.
that any of these things work. So,
Well, I
he's
think
got as much
building
information
is-
as we do.
Yeah, I think building, though, is a generous term. I would say
Okay.
reassembling or adjusting existing devices. He didn't make the thing, create the thing. He's literally messing around with stuff that was left by another species. So, you know, if I discover your car in a parking lot and start putting it back together again, I didn't invent the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Ah.
it seems kind of silly as far as that goes. But again, because Deck has mentioned before that he's, drug crazed on crystals and it's going, absolutely goofy, crazy go nuts.
But that's a
I
bad
just-
character motivation, though. It's
I
a
just-
bad reason to be
well, it
doing
is.
things.
But I don't understand what his motivation is anyway. I mean, literally, what research is he talking about? What discovery does he think he's making? And who does he think he's going to tell, not
I think
being able to
he's-
even get off the planet yet?
I think, unfortunately, I'm not sure there's a big secret there. I think it just may be that he's crystal nuts. I mean, he's crazy, and so he's deluded. Now, maybe again, they said he's a slave, right? So maybe there's some force, some entity, something that he thinks he's doing at the direction of someone else. It's going to turn out to have been a bad thing. I'm sure he's not getting whatever it is he thinks he's getting out of this, even if he could make it work.
Okay.
Which so far he
Well,
can't.
I'm just
Well,
curious
it's
where
certainly
this
not
is going
making
to end
him
up.
look better.
Yeah, so we're gonna put a part in, and then it's either gonna break the machine or make it work, or maybe
kill
who
him
knows? Maybe it'll
outright,
break his hold on him. Who knows? Let's roll.
You're not a scientist. You're just a strutting tin soldier.
I think it's the same piece that the eye generator needed. I think it's the key to all this technology. The alien inventor hid it because without it, none of the machines he considers dangerous will work.
Except for all the
Why
light
would
bridges
The creator of life crystals think they were dangerous.
and the trams.
Because the crystals make you
those aren't
feel
dangerous.
so good that they take over your life. All you care about is getting more of them. He said it was the second worst mistake he'd made.
And the worst mistake?
The eye.
So you and Maggie, you keep telling me I'm crazy. But you plan to make an even worse mistake.
I'll make you a deal, Brink.
Yes, like the deal you made before. I keep my part, but you go back on it.
I didn't go back on it. I just wanted to talk about it with you first.
No deals with liars and thieves.
And these are the people who saved your life.
Hand to make your machine work. But if
He
it,
did get into a one-sided
have
argument
plenty of
with
life
us
crystals,
about
right?
him stealing our
you could
crap.
share them with us, and
Right.
it wouldn't cost you anything, right?
If you have the missing parts, yes.
That's my deal. Your machine, my part. 50-50 on the life crystals.
I know.
Oh, so there is capitalism in space.
You
Gotcha.
won't even come near the machine when it's running. You divide up the life crystals.
Then what's to stop me from keeping them all?
Because I am
shovel?
trained as a military man, Brink. And if I ever actually decide to fight you, I don't care how strong and healthy you are. You will lose. And then
Yes,
I will
Mr.
take-
One-Armed Man.
Got it?
Get your missing part and put it in my machine. Even liars and
Whoa,
thieves can
tell it
bargain
slow.
as long as they watch each other very carefully.
Buy me dinner first. Okay, can we pause for a second,
Half the
or
life
just
crystals,
Okay.
Brink. Remember?
okay?
You don't scare me, you hairless monkey.
Okay, so
Nah, he is
I-
like
I
getting ruder and ruder for I don't understand why. I mean, he's
Yeah.
very belittling and antagonistic and rude and condescending and opinionated about himself in a very strange context where literally the only help and assistance are these two other people and who are not mentioned outnumber him, outhand him, and literally are possessing the one thing that he needs. They're the only ones that
Yeah.
saved his life twice.
Yep.
And yet he is being the biggest asshole.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
don't-
It makes
don't
no
do
Maybe
drugs,
sense.
he's
to
our
me.
Gabe.
father-in-law.
they're using
Even
it
if
as
he
a
felt
big
this
excuse.
way, you shouldn't be you know what I mean? Even if this monologue was internal, even if he felt all of these things, expressing it does not help him or make the situation better for him in any way. Why would he be doing this? I don't understand. And the only logical one is the crystals fried his brain. Okay, fine. But, you know, the overtness and repeatingness of it, it just absolutely makes no sense, and is far more makes them, the other characters, disinclined to assist him in his crazy crystal high rant at all. You know, you'd think they would do the exact opposite with him.
Yeah. Deca says this is all side effects of the crystals. He will shiv you for a hit. The thing I object to are the things he says that Boston doesn't push back on at all, which is like, you dirty welcher, you went back on your deal. You stole my stuff. It's like, look, this is some kind of a quasi-scientific / military mission to go and do a thing. When did that part end? And then it became salvage rights for everybody, finders keepers. I picked up the crystals. That's mine. I picked the ones I put in my pockets are mine. And if you take them, you're stealing now. And you know, and this is all within the space of what, a few hours, a few days. It isn't even like we haven't established a new society with its own rules where everybody scavenges for their own stuff and nobody's supposed to take each other's crap. And it's just kind of weird.
Not to mention in all the conversations they had with the only alien on the planet they could talk to, nobody's asked for any information about food, water, shelter, where they are in the universe, how far do they need to go to get back home. I mean, all the little important things you would need.
That's why I think the time scale has to be as compressed as it is, because then they'd have to deal with all these things. But a lot of the interpersonal conflict that we're seeing works better over a larger time scale, which is like this is a lot of the same stuff that you see in the Rama books. But like the people are the people are trapped inside the artifact in Rama for like weeks. So it makes sense that these things happen. Okay, let's forge on.
Please. All right, so this is the relic that is supposed to make more life crystals. I got the eye part, and let's put it in.
Phrasing.
I just don't know how yet to
the
link them up.
slot.
Frank, what are you doing?
It fits perfectly. This is how the aliens designed the life crystal machine to work.
And you know this how?
Nothing's happening.
Yes, it is. It's vibrating. Be patient. Who knows how fast it's supposed to work?
Yeah, it says right here in the manual.
Suits me fine. We'll split them 50-50, right?
Of course.
50-50.
He doesn't sound shifty at all.
And another!
Right.
2.
Is that all? Just 2? I need more than 2.
I don't know about that, Brink, but it's a sure thing I need more than 1. You still have all the crystals you stole from me and every other place on these islands.
Don't touch them!
50-50, you said, Brink. Well, you must have hundreds of life crystals. It's not even 50-50 if I take these 2.
I knew you were a liar and a cheat.
You weren't gonna let me have even one of these.
I'll make the machine even better. It will produce more.
Not till we're gone, it won't. I need that machine part to run the eye generator.
You will take nothing from this machine, you lying thief!
Once the eye is working, you can either come back with us to Earth, or you can stay here, take the part out of the eye generator and put it back in your own machine. Just have a little patience.
Come on, Brink. What do you say?
You can have all the crystals you want.
Brink. Remember our deal, Brink. I fix your machine.
We already got
get
half
half the life crystals.
But
And Deca says battle in 3, 2, 1.
Half the life crystals, Brink.
Gosh dang it,
Remember?
Deca.
You don't scare me, you hairless monkey.
We gonna have a rod fight?
My machine is stopping! You've wrecked my machine!
We absolutely.
A dead man!
Brink, please. We don't have to
All he
fight.
knows he's got to recharge.
You can have the part back after we're done with it.
Everything you say is a lie!
Maggie, tell him.
If you say a word, Maggie, I'll kill you too!
Brink, don't make me hurt you.
You won't hurt me when you're dead!
I love how Maggie's just looking at her palm violent while we're
Brink! Oh, Maggie,
We
please
need your
believe me,
crystals!
I didn't want him dead.
Again.
It wasn't Brink who died here. Brink died when he fell down the hole when we first arrived. What just fell over the cliff was someone else. Someone alien. Created
crystal
by those
druggy.
death
And
crystals.
stupid.
Maggie, are we
Oh, so they're not
making
life
the
crystals
worst
now, they're
mistake
death crystals.
by activating the eye?
Do you think this game is just one big after-school
That's
special?
the worst mistake we can make.
Yes, it's
Maybe.
definitely
We've got to
seeming
do
that way.
everything we can to survive.
But what if we die trying?
Don't you get it, Boston?
No.
This place is worse than death. I'd rather die than stay here.
Okay, now there's really no reason to, but
Well,
if you
wait
were
a
to
minute, could
put
you
the
do one then the other?
Does it?
You could
does
put
it, will
the
it make
part-
another life crystal?
Please explain that phrase. She'd rather die than stay here, but if she dies, she will stay here.
If she
so
stays here, she will die. There's no food.
right, which means you're still here. There's no not here in this scenario.
So now we can do
Bull's
what
on.
Brink was doing.
Hi,
We
Bull.
can make life crystals.
Yeah, I know. Well, death crystals now because she's being ironic. Bull says, "Oh crap, I forgot about this one, but I'm here now." LOL.
Oh, hi, Bull. So wait, is he? Is that it? Do we not get? Is Brink out of the game now?
I
Brink
think he's
is
gonna
out of the
come back.
game.
Are you sure?
So-
I figured he would
so
come back at the worst
we'll-
possible time, just when we're trying to escape.
So we'll never get an answer to like what Brink thought he was doing, or why he was building the machine,
Or who he was going
why
to tell
life
once
Why
crystals
he
have
stuck his
that
hand in the
effect.
hole?
Yeah, why he stuck his hand in the hole?
What happens
What more
if
do
you
you
pull a
need to
life
know?
crystal off
He
the
said
cliff?
he was
Can you,
going
like,
for a
hit him?
life crystal.
yes,
I'm curious as to if we go back to that hole, will there be a life crystal in there to grab? Because obviously, not only is the life crystal in there, but also his hand. So can we get his hand out?
I am kind of
If we
expecting a
put
Dare
life crystal
logo at the end of
onto his
this.
hand, does he come back to life?
Right.
Friends,
apparently,
don't let friends do life crystals.
or in this case, death crystals.
Boston will acknowledge
That's
the
Rick and
hand
Morty.
is in the crevice, but we don't see it. It's just stuck in
Aw.
there. I mean,
It'd
if
be
we were
great
able
if
to
we
get it out, we
saw
would have been able
stubby.
to get it out with it still attached to Brink.
Can you go to the crevice and then put a life crystal in the crevice?
No.
So
And it grow a new Brink from just the
growing into
hand.
Brink. Yeah, no Brink growing.
It's not how.
It's not how life crystals work.
And you know what? We can actually demonstrate that fact. You want
Do
me to
it.
demonstrate?
Don't stick
No,
in
no,
the
no,
hole.
no. Let's
Nah,
keep going.
we're just fun teasing this thing.
Oh, okay. All right. As you wish, Captain. As you wish.
You like me to talk like George Takei some more?
Alien was right. This thing has already killed one of us. But it's back
One
in
of these things
Well,
is
not
not
that-
like
not-
the other.
Not this thing specifically. It was
No,
a totally
the
other thing.
thing.
the crystals Brink died for.
All right.
She just
Brink
got
died
through
'cause he
saying
was
that
a
wasn't Brink.
dick. Yeah, I know. That's Maggie's rationale.
Where did-
it's like
where
I
did she
doubt
go,
a
by the
lawyer
way?
would agree.
And
Oh,
Question
Deca
Deck is
says-
right. We already demonstrated that even being part of one thing isn't enough to totally revive it as
Right.
a turtle. That
But he also
was
said,
barely
"Remember the
alive
turtle."
and-
Yeah.
But if you remember back to the earlier part of the game
Oh,
where we
gosh.
dug up those graves for the tusk and the jaw, you
Why did she
can
stop
use
there?
a life crystal on that grave, and it would do nothing.
All right. I want to know, can we feed Brinks's corpse to the creature over by the water where the turtle is?
I don't think there would be much of a corpse if we did find it.
Robbins,
Maybe.
can I try one of your 31 flavors?
I feel like I'm just what he called me. A traitor. A liar.
You were dealing with a madman. You were trying to save
He
him.
also called you a hairless monkey.
Do you think we should try this part in the eye?
It's probably our only chance of getting home.
All right.
Did we just do that?
You're the one who read the alien book.
Okay.
What exactly happens when we turn it on with enough life crystals in it?
It would have taken me years to read everything, Boston. And I didn't
busy.
understand half of what I read. But there's no doubt that this machine is dangerous. The alien warned us it might cost us more than we expected.
What does that mean?
It might mean that just turning on the machine might kill us.
You mean he booby-trapped the thing?
I mean that
Wouldn't
the
you?
machine may draw on more than life crystals. It may drain the life out of whoever uses it.
Then I'm running the controls.
Don't be absurd. It might do nothing, too. Or it could kill whoever isn't at the controls. I
Yeah.
just want to tell you.
Or
Let's get Brink.
No good
could
guys.
kill both of you,
We're gonna make it home together, Maggie.
or cut you in half.
Or it
I'm not
could kill
sentimental,
someone you
Boston.
don't know.
Yeah, oh
Give you
yeah,
an
I
ice
like
cream.
that idea.
I think it
I
could.
just want you to promise me something.
Here it
After you
comes.
saw me break every promise I made to Brink, you want me to make another one to you?
What happened with Brink...
Don't
is
kink
your
shame me,
fault,
Boston.
I know you'll keep your word with me.
What's the promise?
Don't Brink shame me.
If I die,
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
don't revive me. Do you understand?
Tell me
Are
lies.
you sure?
I saw what Brink became. I don't want that to happen to me. You
What,
wouldn't
a
be
jerk?
saving Maggie Robbins. You'd be creating a monster with my memories, my face. Don't do it. Promise me.
Her hair.
Promise, Maggie. And vice versa, okay?
And then read the feminine mystique, please.
And now you tell me the truth about something, Maggie. Are you sure you didn't find out somewhere that something bad happens to the person at the controls of this machine?
Boston, I don't know any more than you do about what will happen when I switch this thing on.
If that's a lie, I'm gonna be really ticked off, Maggie.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yep. And I'm gonna go stand far
Now,
away over
there's
here.
some-
That
this doesn't
Maggie
make
was the
any
most
sense.
terrible
How
live
did
all.
she have a
I know, that's why I
Let's have a
saved it up for
conversation.
now. Gently
What could
caress the
possibly
button.
go wrong? To be honest, I feel really bad for these people because if they do get back to Earth, do you have any idea how long the debriefing on this is going to be? Seriously, explaining everything at every level that they've experienced throughout this whole event.
I'll have to pry it open.
Excuse
use the
me?
shovel?
Careful.
Throw her the shovel, you fool.
Go, use the jawbone.
Maggie!
Quick, she needs mouth to
Maggie,
mouth.
you liar. You knew this would happen.
The eye.
It worked. The eye is restored.
Worth it then. Go home.
Maggie.
Maggie, you dumb person you.
Okay. We actually have a choice now.
Bring her or not bring her? You might need
Oh,
a
is it
snack.
is it life crystal time or not? She's already given us a DNR for do not life crystal
Yeah.
me, bro.
Or death crystal.
You life crystal her. Absolutely life crystal
yeah,
her. She
Decca's like,
lied to you.
here is the ending choice.
Yeah, I would totally not.
I'm not. You know what? You guys have been criticizing these characters for the better part of every bit of this gameplay. And
Yes.
saying
Well,
how
well,
dumb these
no.
characters are. So you
Technically-
know what?
Technically,
Can we
we're
see
bashing
both?
the writers of these characters.
Can we see both? Can we save scum this? Is that possible?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can we save scum?
Yes.
Let's totally do
We
it.
can save scum it.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, why
you know
not?
what? I'll tell
We're
you
here.
what. I'll save scum it.
Woohoo! Okay, I want version 1 to be not reviving her.
Which I'm assuming is
can
is that the good ending? I guess. I mean,
No. I say I don't care. Good or bad, I think is totally subjective. But I'm curious as A, is the choice
We're gonna-
reviving or not reviving, or leaving with her, or taking her with us in her corpseified state?
Okay.
Is that an option?
I'm gonna do the ending I don't prefer first, so that we can end it on the ending that.
okay.
Yeah.
Fair
okay.
enough. Fair enough. That is
Okay.
fair.
Because I think if you do give her the death crystals, she's gonna come back and be super evil, and then ruin the planet.
Oh no!
Austin, you idiot.
I begged you.
Now you're gonna kill me again. Wow. Okay, didn't expect that. That's cool. So you
And he'll
literally
stay
had to
there
die
like that.
twice.
She must have had a really big life insurance policy.
Well, that's enough. Well, that's long enough. I'll get up now.
Okay. All right. Is there any more to that?
Okay. So does what
Consequently,
happens?
I mean,
Does what happens from here on change significantly, or just here at the point where we're just
Right.
like, well, that's what happened. She killed herself because we revived her, and now we go back and load the save and
This-
don't do that.
Oh no, there is something that comes up. It's not much of a change, but it is a difference. So,
All right. Well, let's see.
but
it.
we are going to see the real game if we decide to proceed with this. This is the ending.
oh, Bob Robertson in the chat. Hi, Bob.
Here's your Dragon Slayer moment, Black Star.
Ah, oh yeah. Turn off the bridge, you idiot.
I should have known the
No.
inventor would have one more trick up his sleeve.
You think? Why don't you bring Laughing Boy out there and then turn it off so he can plummet to his death and say hi to Maggie?
That might be the easiest puzzle in the game.
Well, thank you. It's like, duh.
That was the inventor's last chance to stop me. I will get out into Space-Time 6. I will bring the people
What?
of this place back home, and they will build me a starship that will take me back to Earth.
So help me God.
I don't care if they're busy, they're gonna do it. Bolt asks, for someone who managed to miss most of this game, what was the negative effect of being resurrected? Basically, you would come back not as your
Drug
real,
addiction.
true self. You become totally addicted to the life/death crystals, and that's all you care about. So you suddenly come
Yeah.
back as a druggie.
I guess this is the real test. Can a practical guy from Earth do what all the builders of this place failed to do? Can I go into Space-Time 6 and still find my way back to reality? Only one way to find out.
If you can, the bar is real low.
Yeah, seriously. I have a total feeling this is gonna fail, and will never be seen or heard from again.
That would make sense, actually. If being the kind of person who revived her when she said not to also prevented you from being judged worthy for this process, that would make sense. Or being unable to come back. That would make sense. That would
Guy
be
could
logical.
Get lost here real easy. No, I'm not going any farther into this place. I'm staying here, where I can get back out again.
You
I
are
would like
fine
it
here.
if it turned out he was too
I
stupid
can understand you.
to have his brain warped by this.
in
and that's what
Space-Time
saved him.
6. All living minds communicate perfectly. You
That's
stand
convenient.
in the doorway, human. You
Okay.
show us all the pathway back to life, to reality.
to a
Back
place
to
where we will someday
life.
die. Yes.
Back
We
to
will have a life
reality.
before we die.
Every past and future. I can see them all, but which one is real?
Go back now, human. Take me home.
I'm sorry, how many people are on this planet? Have we established that? Because the population
entire
density
race,
seems
right?
a little low.
Their bones, their lives again. We owe you a great debt, Commander Lowe.
All I want, now that my friends are dead, is to go back to Earth and tell the story of how they died.
Why not let them tell their own story?
I wish.
You knew the way home, but I know all the other paths through time and space.
Wait, don't go back there.
What?
I have brought you a gift.
Maggie. Brink. You're alive again.
We were lost, but this being found us and led us back.
Maggie. When you died, Man, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm glad to see you, Boston. You broke your
What, you'd
promise
rather be
to
dead?
me.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want to go on without you.
But you knew that what the crystals bring back isn't life. It wasn't me.
But it's you now.
Yes. Well, yes, it is.
And I'm free of the madness of the crystals, too.
But I'm really old for some reason now.
Did it, Lo?
Yeah, in the book they explained that he used so much of the crystals that pretty much sapped whatever life
Used
he
up.
could have had right out of him. Okay,
Okay.
since I'm
Does
not
he apologize for being an asshat?
Okay, so now we don't revive her and go in.
Right, which is what I wanted to do. To be honest, though, I wanted to bring her corpse into the thing
I don't know.
too. But
I feel that last
can't do that.
interaction between those characters is very true to the group we saw in this game.
It's
with Cersei
totally true to the
and-
group
You may call
dynamic. Yeah.
these characters dumb, but I would not make Boston Lowe that dumb.
I wouldn't call him
Okay,
dumb. I
okay,
would just say
Narc.
some of the things that a lot of these people doing is highly questionable.
Okay, Narc,
Here
Yep.
comes Stimpy.
you got
Okay,
that
turn off the
sound
bridge.
bit ready?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, okay, I'm ready.
See, too slow.
Oh,
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep.
yeah, no, I'm
Give
ready.
it up. All right, let's time this right. Sad part is I know what's coming.
That was the inventor's last chance to stop me. I will get
Oh.
out of Space-Time 6. I will bring the people of this place back home, and they will build me a starship that will
All right,
take me
let's
back
do
to
this.
Earth.
Okay, was anybody
Right.
else disappointed about the graphical representation of Space-Time 6 in all its glory?
I guess this is the.
I don't know what Space Time 6
Can a
looks like.
practical guy from Earth
How am I
do
supposed
what
to
all
know?
the builders of this
He
place
stuck his
failed
head.
to
The
No,
only
I mean for what they were
explanation
showing when all
we're
the
watching
to
through the
Space-Time
character.
6 and
Yeah.
find
He's too
my way
stupid.
back to reality.
Okay,
He
well,
thinks
there you
it's
go.
bubbles.
Find out.
Well, that's just it.
Well, to be
That
f-
seems
well, if
very
you-
simplistic.
Well, take a look. If you see these orbs here, they actually show you various rooms that we've been in,
It's
and
proof.
coincidentally, they're the rooms that the ghosts showed themselves.
Right.
A guy could get lost here real easy. No.
Oh, look, it's
To be
Patrick
honest,
Stewart
this
of the
is-
Christmas
I'm
tree.
not going any farther
No,
into
to be honest, this
I'm
looks
staying
very
here,
reminiscent
where I
of.
can
You remember
get back out
Brainstorm
again.
from
Yeah.
'83?
You are
Yeah,
as
it
strong
reminds
as
me of
the
that.
old human.
I can understand you.
In Space-Time 6.
And I don't know how much it would skip if I were to hit the skip button, so I don't want
Yeah,
to
don't-
skip the
it's
whole
not that
thing by
long.
accident.
It's not
do
that
it. No,
long.
we-
Don't
No,
do
we want
it.
to see it.
You show us all the pathway back to life.
And I do like these
Also,
designs.
how did
for
he
these
show
aliens.
them how to get back? I don't
To a
understand
place
that.
where we will someday
Yeah, to be
die.
honest, story-wise, it would have made a lot more sense that they couldn't get back because there was no one to turn on the machine. Do you know what I mean? And if somebody simply did it and opened the door for these people, then they could come back.
Yeah, if it
And
was
the human
purely a
capacity for
practical
mental understanding
thing.
would not be a
Yeah.
factor. You know what I mean?
Go back now.
That would have made a
I
lot
think
more
it could
sense.
be something different. I think it's something different.
Oh, I'm sure it's different. I'm
I'll
just
get-
saying that it's not as good.
I'll get into that later.
People have their bodies, their bones, their lives again. We owe you a great debt, Commander Lowe.
All I want, now that my friends are dead, is to go back to Earth and tell the story of how they died.
Why not
So build me a
Massive
ship.
Publishing deal.
Why not let them tell the story of how they died?
Yes. Think of the chat
Then
shows.
they'll get the
We could be
publishing
set
deal.
for life.
Also, I left my 2 favorite pets guarding a door. Have you seen them?
Yes.
I have brought you a gift.
Does he have his hand
Corpses?
back?
Frank.
He
It
does.
does look like he has his hand, yeah.
Lost, but this being found us and led us back.
And now
Oh
she's
my,
happy.
her eyes are like a dead fish.
Maggie.
So
I
happy.
thought I'd lost
You
you
kept your
forever.
promise and let me die forever. Wait, that makes no
So
sense.
you really didn't try to resurrect me with the crystals.
No, I promised you. And besides, what the crystals bring back from death, it wouldn't have been you.
I know, Boston. You kept your word. And yet, you did find a way to bring me back from death.
It wasn't me.
Well, no, that was this
No,
guy.
I didn't do that. That just happened
And I'm free
randomly.
of the madness of the crystals too.
Thanks for asking.
You did it, Lowe.
No, it was our friend.
No, I didn't. I literally didn't. I didn't ask anybody for this. Nobody
Not-
asked
not
for
even
you back,
close.
Once
Frank.
revealed
Yep.
the great inventor, because he opened the door to unchanging eternity. But you opened the passageway back into true life.
All I am is a guy who wants to get back home.
Already my people are preparing a great crystal starship to take you there. But
Well, that was
can
quick.
come back, can't we? You and any others who wish to come. You are a young people, strong and full of hope and passion.
Real
Much to
ignorance.
teach you, and you have much to share with us as well. There will
Recipes
be
to share.
friendship between our species forever.
I hope you're right. Not all human beings are as, nice as us.
Oh, I know. that.
Yeah. Exhibit
All
A.
species are
His name's Brink.
I know that. We get showtime here. Don't worry. Space Time 6 has
Many
everything.
of your people try to pick a fight. You're
Like
not
bugs?
safe.
Oh, no.
How reassuring.
The ship is almost
You'll love that.
Go home and
Ship
tell
is
I
almost
like that
ready.
somehow on his world they also have bugs.
Telling the people. That's Maggie's job.
And getting us home, that was yours. You did it, Boston.
Thank you, Boston.
Minus the bug smashing.
We all thank you, Boston Lowe.
Could I just have one more crystal, please? Just one. Just one for the road.
That is my species' greatest insult. Why do you
Kiss,
do this?
kiss, kiss.
Kiss. I'm waiting for the other one to come and goes, oh my god, he shook your what?
How are these guys even tool users?
They got
Which is-
multiple thumbs.
So I like the idea that this guy just didn't ask for anything. He brought those 2 people back from life, or back from death. But Boston's mom or something died 15 years ago. They would have
Yeah.
much rather had her than that Brink asshole.
You'd
But
think.
I don't care.
Also, that crystal starship apparently doesn't have bathrooms. It's got no facilities whatsoever. Oh,
Hey,
dialogue by
listen to-
Orson Scott Card. Well, that
Yes.
explains a lot.
But it's really
Oh, yeah, you
weird.
missed that part.
It's really weird the way stuff is credited, right? Because this is based on idea, quote unquote idea by
Yes.
Spielberg, and and Brian Moriarty, who did Loom, who's the real guy who writes game stories for Lucasfilm Games. He's credited with additional story, which is a weird kind of diminution of it. And then Card is specifically credited with the dialogue, not with story. So that's kind of weird.
I have a
Moriarty
feeling
was
with
actually
licensing
the original.
and yeah,
Moriarty was the original director of this game. He was replaced when LucasArts saw what he was delivering and they decided it wasn't that good. And
Yep,
so that's
they
when
fired
Sean
him.
Clark came in and pretty much got rid of a lot of stuff. And one of those being the fourth astronaut, Toshio Lima. And if you think some of the graphic depictions in this game were pretty tough, they actually had Toshio Lima's death in the original game animated. And there are screen caps.
Oh,
of
they
it,
threw that away. Wow.
Can
and
we
they
see
threw that
it?
away.
Can we see it? Can
Well-
we fire it up?
I could certainly put pictures in the Discord and such, but
Yeah,
basically, okay, give me a
Put it in
second.
OBS. If you
And
just
Deca says
layer it,
the ship is apparently
layer
near
an OBS
instant
on top
FTL,
of-
so no need for bathrooms. Thank goodness.
Okay.
But I don't think
I
Brink
think you
smells
guys missed
very
the most
good, so
important part about the credits. There were 2 people credited on didgeridoo.
only 2. Oh my god, somebody was named Captain Trips. Holy shit.
Really?
That's funny.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, apparently his nickname was somehow related to the stand, and considering that the year this came out,
It would
somewhat
be
prophetic.
interesting to find out what this was before that last minute change, because like there are some really interesting bones and really ideas, and a lot of the execution is a little bit odd, and I think it does feel like there's stuff that's missing or changed without much regard to how it impacted the
Right.
whole thing.
Yeah, and the dialogue seems very
think you're right.
sequential. It's not like you said, state dependent. It doesn't take into account histories, and the interactives on the when you do things in or out of order affects how that dialogue is received and contextually how it impacts.
Yeah,
them.
but as with all these games, like
Yeah.
the art and the music are all top notch.
Oh yeah, no, don't
the
get me wrong.
art-
We're totally teasing the hell out of this, but still, this
Yeah.
was an awesome
The-
game, and it was very underrated for its time.
Yeah, I think the art only suffers just because pixel art, I think, does a better job when you're trying to lightly suggest recognizable objects, but a sci-fi fantasy story about a place you've never seen is
Right.
unrecognizable by definition and is supposed to be.
Right.
Okay,
Alright,
so
can you
this
see
is when the
this
crew
image?
had 4 people in it. So that's what, the third from the left would be Toshio?
Yes, he was the one that
And
funded the expedition to go to the asteroid in the first place.
And
And,
who wanted
and Mag
Maggie
is
as
a blonde here.
Yes,
Same
Yeah, she
voice or
went through
different actress?
they didn't have the voices for these characters yet.
Oh, okay,
At this
all right.
stage in the production. But
Gotcha.
yeah, you can see the interface is different. There are a lot
Yeah.
more items, very old-fashioned LucasArts kind of style. And
Yeah,
even the
it's-
sprite
Yeah, you got like what?
style.
Pick up, use, push, examine.
Yeah, so that's that one. But the one thing that is absolutely grotesque was his death, and I'm gonna find a picture of that right now.
It's the end.
Fire up
It's
the death.
the end, Boston. Now give me your
So-
license.
I feel bad
Here
for
it
these
is.
aliens who suddenly get back to their planet, which, to be honest, doesn't have a lot of land mass. It's
Oh,
very
no!
yeah, a lot of water there. That is
Okay,
one
to
ugly
give
creature.
you
Do that again.
oh,
I can't do it again.
just clip it. Okay, so here's the context.
Yeah.
Before Brink, I'm not sure if this occurs before or after Brink dies, but Toshi is one of the characters who goes, and his death involves him being trapped in a room, and everyone outside is trying to open the way to get him out. Now, this room was fully designed and animated, and what happens is this room slowly starts to drip acid from the ceiling. And there is nowhere in this room that Toshi can go to hide from it. So he's running around panicking, and all these drops of acid are hitting him, and they are slowly dissolving him. They dissolve his
Nice.
clothes, they dissolve his skin until finally some
Hardcore.
get on his head, and he's just like crawling on the floor as they continue to
Well,
basically
don't spoil it.
dissolve him.
Just
Here
show
is-
push it. Push
Well,
the
that's
button,
pretty
Max.
cool.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
All right,
dude,
so
this
we're
game
done
is
seeing it
super
live.
metal, man.
It's
Oh,
And this
Oh,
is one of the
okay.
images where he's basically in his last strands. The acid has pretty much gotten into his head. He can't stand anymore, and he is just
Yeah.
crawling.
Oh,
And
okay.
he eventually-
Now I want to see that. I want to see him running around going crazy go nuts.
I want to
That's a
see
bummer.
this
Yeah,
game
and-
as Dead Space. You know, it would be pretty cool.
Now, did anybody do a remake of this?
I don't think so.
Unfortunately, not yet,
No,
or at
nobody's
least
tried that?
a interest. But I mean, there's kind of it's kind of interesting when you look at the history of this game, because despite the fact that this is one of the biggest point-and-click adventure games LucasArts had made at that point,
Had ever done, yeah.
and it had a novel. By the way, if you get this game on GOG, it comes with the Alan Dean Foster novelization.
Oh, really? The
And
novelization they did? Wow. Now, was that the
They
one
had
that Alan had a problem with licensing and money and whatnot? Because apparently there were a bunch of novelizations that he didn't get paid for, and was in serious legal issues with. Was this one of them? I can't
This was
remember.
Star Wars. And yes, this would have been one of his, because now Disney, who owns LucasArts, now owns
Right.
the Dig.
Right, because I knew that was
Mhm.
part of the background licensing problem with that and him getting paid. Bob Purnell in the chat says, "Fun presentation. Thanks, guys. You're very welcome. I'm glad you liked it. And
Thank you,
putting up
Bob.
with our bad comedy."
Mhm.
Bull says, "Yeah, reminds us of RoboCop 2, or one of them. Where they also melted a man in acid. So horror." Yeah, that definitely, considering the target audience might have been, a little heavy for kids. Maybe that's why that they pulled it, or at least pulled that particular death in that way.
But was
you know,
this a
it-
kids' game? This seems like an
Well, yeah.
adult game.
Yeah, well,
But this is
they
one of the
knew
more
kids were gonna get
serious
it.
tone games.
Yeah,
that
no,
LucasArts
not
has
really.
made.
I'm
Even-
looking at his other stuff. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. So before he did on these graphical Avengers games, he did text games. He worked on Wishbringer, Trinity, and Beyond
That's a
Zork.
cute picture.
Two of
Yeah.
which I have played, although I gotta admit I don't remember much about Wishbringer specifically.
We'll give the
but
man a
apparently
hand.
the production hell in this game was even worse than I thought. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice touch. Brink's got missing the hand. So Brian wasn't even the original head of this. He was the second director for this game, and he was replaced by somebody. But he also had somebody who he replaced who was doing this before him. And he didn't stay in the games industry for very long after that. And he is currently a professor at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts.
Wow, we should stop by and say hi. He's in car range.
You should have gotten him on the stream.
He
I
gave
know,
a,
right? That would've
he
been
gave
funny.
a lecture in 2002 at GDC. And he had a graphic novel included as an Easter egg in the puzzle game The Witness by Jonathan Blow.
Wow. Yeah, we should have definitely given him a call.
Cody
I would have
Miller
loved to have
left
him
for
on.
this.
That's funny. Oh boy. All right. Well, that was the dig. Final thoughts, feelings, emotions, anecdotes.
Well, this theme. I loved this game when I was a kid, even with all the
I could tell.
gaps. And
I think if I had nostalgia associations with it, I'm sure I would view it differently than I did during this playthrough.
Well, you know how we
Yeah.
get into MST3K mode, so for me, I had seen it. In fact, I'm trying to remember, what was the year this came out? What, 89? This was like late 80s, early 90s?
Dude, this is like
the Dig,
95.
this was like 95.
Yeah, this is 90.
Oh, it was? Okay, well, I saw some credits with the date
Yeah,
on
it
it and
just
everything
looks
because I've never
old
seen
as
it.
butts.
Well, I'm just wondering, yeah, mid 90s then. So yeah, I was like almost through college and whatnot. So yeah, so
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
this
This
is
is a
95.
post-missed game,
This is 95.
which is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
funny. Because yeah, I hadn't played it, hadn't really done anything with it. I think I might have seen an ad for it somewhere, but I mean, I didn't start getting into computers and internet stuff and everything actually until graduating college in '96. So this wouldn't have really been on my radar. I wouldn't have even had a computer to play this on. So yeah.
I think the reason why 85 is cropping up, because Steven Spielberg had this idea for the Dig as an episode for his Amazing Stories
Amazing
series
Stories
that he started
one,
in
yes.
1985.
Yeah, I read that.
That's where the idea. But again, the budget was too big for the time, and in 1995, they were able, with all the point-and-click adventure games they were able to do, it was more suitable for that platform, but it definitely went through its stages before we finally got what we ended up with.
Oh, Geo9 in the chat says, yeah, Brink's hand at least is right in the graphic. Or wait, is it? Now I'm confused. So yeah, does anybody know if it was his right hand or is his left hand that he lost?
Yeah,
It was his
right
left hand.
It wasn't.
Was
it was
it?
his
Was
right.
it? Are you sure? I think
I'm trying
he
to remember because he
I
had,
think it was
he had
his
it in
left
the
hand.
wall. He had it in the wall like this, right? As opposed
It
to
was
Yeah, he
actually
had
his
his
left
right
hand.
hand
It was actually,
bracing
he
on the
lost
wall.
his. It was actually his left. So this image is kind of slightly incorrect.
Fuck
But-
this
Okay, so
image.
we'll have to reverse the
Get
image.
that
We'll have to
shit
flip
out
it
of
over.
there.
Oh man.
But yeah, this
That's
image.
funny.
Yeah, this image comes from the mixmojo.com.
There you go.
There
Okay,
we
that's
go. Yeah, mixmojo.com. They have a
Now
great
it's correct.
article and sections like apparently one of the big things that everyone remembers about this game, and I'm not kidding, was the pizza orgy, which is basically when the
What?
game is.
What?
I'm not kidding. Apparently, when the game was finished, or whenever they complete a finished game, they all would gather in the office space and have just all these pizzas everywhere, and they would just feast on them, and they would call them pizza orgies.
Okay, phrasing. All right. Yeah, well, considering
Yeah.
our last discussion about Echo the Dolphin, I didn't know where this was going.
Okay.
Okay, so good to know.
Wait, I haven't said what I think about the game.
I
Yeah, go
was
ahead,
going to
Funk.
ask.
The game
We got time.
is. I think the game tried to bite off a little bit more than it could chew.
Yep.
It looked like it felt like there were missing parts, and as we know that there are.
Yep.
Even
Very
the
ambitious.
ending was very Halo 2, except they actually ended it. It was just like, all right, we're building up to this thing, and then oh no, that's it. And then I also think that they probably. I think that the people writing the dialogue were were trying to be too clever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. And it came off very, very
Other than that,
plain.
it's great.
Yeah, very, very plain Jane. There's not a lot of inflective tone for this. It's very straightforward and monotone in its feelings. For me, it's just like the whole drama and excitement and important moments and dramatic things and whatever else. A lot of those they relegate to the actual animation, which is very disparative from the actual gameplay, where everyone is literally standing around walking in very rigid form, doing stuff very slowly. Characters are threatened and or we are rushing to do things and no one is in any particular hurry whatsoever. It takes away from it. And then you go to the cutscenes where people are dramatically committing suicide, falling off of cliffs, chopping off hands, all this, falling to their deaths, all these crazy things and whatnot. There just seems to be a serious chasm between those two things, gameplay wise. It kind of messes with the tone. I liked it.
Also-
I think, to be honest, it would probably have done better as a Twilight Zone episode or an Amazing Stories episode or even a video film or a television format as opposed to a game, simply because they're dealing with a lot of high concept sci-fi elements that they're trying to
the
shoehorn in this.
universe is really cool.
Well, the world that they're creating with it, yeah, I mean, there's a lot in there to unpack. They're
And a
kind
lot
of
of the-
pushing, like you said, the Rama parallels. They're trying to be Clark. They're trying to be Asimov. They're trying to do all these different high sci-fi things. And there's only so much that you can pack into a point-and-click adventure game.
And a lot of the interactivity is kind of low level and samey. Like, here's yet another rod. It's got another combination of shapes and colors. Use this as a combination on a thing that will show you something so you advance. But like, how many rods did we have by the end of the game? Was it 4, 5, 6? There's a bunch of them.
Five,
So,
yeah, they must have been
5
collect all
readable,
5.
6 in total.
yeah. So there you
That
go.
one that opened the creator's tomb, you didn't get to see the inscriptions on it.
Yeah, so I'm reading the Wikipedia page, and so apparently there were 4 different versions of this game, each with its own director.
I believe it. Well, and the thing is,
Too many cooks. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
the demo for this game, as I mentioned before, features different actors in the role of all the characters. It's not the same.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
And
could make up their
although
mind.
I did find the pizza orgy quote. Are you interested?
Yeah, go
Not
ahead.
really.
Okay,
I'm super interested. Tell me more.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
those are two
this
words
What
that
was
should
on
not
the
be going
pizza?
together.
Okay, so this is Sean Clark, the director of this version of the game.
Yeah, the final one.
And yeah, and you can find this interview on mixnmojo.com. MIXNMOJO. Explain to me the 3 LucasArts pizza orgies that I keep hearing about, the questioner says. And Sean Clark
Phrasing.
replies, the pizza orgy was a milestone of sorts. Once a game reached a state in which it was fairly playable and there was enough put together to get a sense of how the game would turn out, we would invite pretty much everyone in the company to come play the game after hours and eat pizza. The catch was they had to provide feedback on the game and their experience playing it. Okay, I was a little off on my recollection of what that was, but yeah.
By the way, do not Google for pizza orgy, just FYI.
No.
Yeah,
don't,
can we
please.
stop saying that phrase?
I
have that book
done.
We're gonna get demonetized. Anyway,
I think that's cool. If they like everyone in Lucasfilm comes and plays the game and tells them what they think, and for free pizza, that's a good idea. We should all have pizza orgies.
Also,
I'm just surprised why that opportunity for feedback wasn't used more readily or more often, or wasn't standard operating procedure. Why it was suddenly
it probably was
different
used
or
too much. Because here's the thing: did you notice that in this playthrough that we did, there were essentially no more puzzles?
Right. Well,
there were no puzzles.
It may have been staged that. Yeah, it may have been staged that way. It's like, hey, here's the introduction part, here's the character development part, here's the puzzle part, here's the dramatic conclusion part. You know, maybe they segmented it that on by design or on purpose.
There were very few, actually very, very, I mean, think about it. Think about the number of inventory items there were total in the game compared to, say, the Monkey Island games. Like, there's almost no items. So there are no inventory puzzles. But again, some people don't like those. The puzzle assembly is absolutely trivial once you have all the pieces, right? You can do nothing with them until you have all the pieces. Once you have all the pieces, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to figure out. The puzzle itself is absolutely trivial. The rod puzzles were all the same. In fact, it just seems like it was like the minimum amount of interactivity, because otherwise all it would have been a key card. It would have been like Doom, right? There's a red door, get the red key, you're in the door, done.
Well, they may have been completely locked into that contextually because of the environment, because of how they designed it, because of where the machines are and what they do and how many of them there were.
It really seems like this was a story with strategic roadblocks placed, and they made up something that looks like a puzzle to solve to stop the flow of the story. Whereas Monkey Island is not like that. It's a collection of puzzles around which a funny story is weaved.
Is created, Bowl in the chat on Twitch, he says, they might have had an internal test department, but this was asking for feedback from a way bigger range of people. Which is probably true. So they wanted to test the waters with more of the public, as opposed to people who had been experiencing for quite a while. Geo9 says, and given the era, it's possible that the testing phases weren't really blocked out as well for budget, since they were already lower budgets compared to later games. That's also probably true, because considering how many directors, teams, and groups and the leads worked on this
game was their most expensive.
They obviously had a lot of opinions that were varied.
But this game didn't have a lower budget compared to later games. It's higher.
I'm sure it was eaten up by all the staff they fired.
Yeah. The Wikipedia here says, at reception, the Dig's global sales reached 300,000 copies by early '98, the highest sales of a LucasArts adventure game at the time of its release. However, the company's Bill Tiller later said that upper management considered it a letdown, speculating that its budget had run so high it could not make it back. The whole project was overhyped. LucasArts management thought it could make $1 bazillion, and when it sold a substantial amount less than that, they were disappointed.
Yeah, their expectations versus reality were way off. I don't know who sold them on what or how much coke they were snorting, but it was nowhere going to be reaching 1 million copies.
Remember, in this era,
this is a post-Myst world.
Yeah.
You can do an adventure game and make $1 billion.
Right, but this is not, missed popularity.
But 300,000,
as far as
300,000, I think, is not bad sales. Okay, it's not missed sales, but missed, I think, is still still the best-selling game ever, isn't it? I mean,
right. And how many is that?
In some definitions or categories, anyway.
Right, and how many is that? I think they looked at what the games that other people had made, saw their sales numbers, and said, "Hey, we can do that too." Yep. Right. Okay. Well, tell you what. Look on the Wikipedia. Tell me how many copies Myth sold in the same amount of time.
But I'm trying to think of other games in the 90s. Like I think the late 90s game. Like I think Fallout 1 sold maybe 600,000 copies, but that was Oh, neat. That's cute. Yeah. They embedded a video in the box. Neat.
Well, they have to do Myst, because to be honest, I wanted to do that series at some point.
But the development of this started in '89, and it was supposed to come out in '92, and it doesn't come out until '95. And this is an era in which Bungie is making marathon games, and they're releasing a game every year.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out when I graduated high school, and it didn't come out until I was almost graduating college. So yeah, that's quite a delay. Geo9 says, it's not really different from today's, post Fortnite mentality with battle royales. Yeah, that's probably definitely true. Bull says, I need to finish Myst. I've been playing the VR version, but the original, I get stuck so easily, lol. Yeah, I was wondering if we were to try that ever, how much of the Book of Armaments we'd have to consult.
Jeyl,
skip all the time.
Skip.
Yeah, Jeyl, for a game, as you point out, doesn't seem to have a lot of actual puzzles. That doesn't have a thing for you to figure out. It has a lot of places you can get stuck where you can't advance because the way to advance is not really clear.
And you can tell they were struggling with and areas that you would normally be able to advance to, they literally did put a roadblock, not a padding, because they wanted you to make sure you did other things like the map to find out the crypt was something below it, even though all he had to do was step on the crypt. He needed to look at a map to step on a pedestal.
Oh, Narc, do you want to punch up the quad? Because we've been really small on people's phones. Sorry for that, everybody. There we go. Now we're viewable.
I think you guys are right. The thing is, it's definitely a story and a great idea for a story that they probably just couldn't figure out in 1995 a better way to do this story than the point and click adventure game. And if this could come out, or if they waited until 2010 to do this story, it could be Tomb Raider, it would be, or even 2002, it could be Tomb Raider. And that would be boss as hell.
To be honest, I'm wondering, of the choose your own adventure game types out there, would there anything be comparable? Can anybody think of something that would be close or similar to this?
Similar to the Dig?
Or something as well received, something in a similar genre.
Well,
Deca says today it'd be a VR game. So that I agree. Everything would be pushing and being incorporated into modern tech options.
They have made games of Rama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. Narc played some of those, didn't you? Narc, you played one of the Rama games.
There's an old one in '84, and there's another one that came out the same year as this.
Yeah, didn't you play
Rama
that?
is a first-person adventure game developed and published by Sierra Online in '96. So again, Lucasfilm's major competitor. So that might make an interesting direct head-to-head comparison. Similar content by two competing studios.
I did not play it.
No, did Narc?
I have not either.
Narc played that. Oh, you haven't? Okay, because I know you played one Rama game.
I didn't finish it.
Right. But
I gotta admit, I don't remember that much of it.
Okay, all right. Because I know that you played one Rama game. I just couldn't for the life of me remember which one it was.
I think it was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Arthur C. Clarke's Rama, which was released in 1996.
Can we punch up the cover? Because maybe I'll recognize that if we punch up the cover.
Yeah, it was Sierra, and the cover art for the game features one of the visitors to Rama, which was the more bird-like creature.
Yep.
So if you look for a cover of that, and it apparently featured full motion video, low resolution, of course, and I remember this. I remember this because
scrolling.
You ever heard of Cursed? You ever heard of the YouTuber Cursed Farms? The guy who does the
Yeah,
Gordon's Mine.
Accursed Farms. He does a bunch of like dead game stuff.
He did a review of this game and actually managed to locate a good source of its soundtrack that wasn't available.
Really? Okay.
So if you're
I think I may have watched that episode. I'm pretty sure I should have watched that.
Is
episode.
the writer of this game the
And-
bassist for the band Rush? Is that what I'm
for
seeing?
God's
No.
sakes.
No.
It's Arthur C. Clarke.
Who is
No,
Geddy
he's-
Lee? Oh,
he's-
Gentry Lee.
Gentry
He's talking
Lee's
about the album covers, though. I don't recognize the cover. Narc, do you recognize the cover?
Not
other-
that one. No.
I'm
But that
probably
is
thinking
one of the
Rendezvous on
creatures
Rama.
that in the books is called the Avians.
Yeah.
Let's see. I like the spiders myself.
Oh, the spiders are awesome. Let's see if I can find any other alternate covers.
No, actually, Rendezvous with Rama. That's the one.
Oh, it said there
I'm
was a
thinking of.
PlayStation, so maybe the PlayStation version had a different cover. Not like you would have played
Maybe.
it, but you might have seen it.
I don't know. Or maybe I'm thinking of the book. Maybe I'm remembering the book cover. Because the Arthur C. Clarke Rendezvous with Rama book cover on the Wikipedia, that sort of looks familiar to me. Because I think you had the book. No, you read that.
Accursed Farms usually it pretty much picks the game apart, just like you guys picked this dig apart. It's a pretty fun review.
Well, it's and it's funny because this also came out in the Doom and Marathon era too.
Is
so
that what? That looks like one of those games that used to come out then, where the whole game was FMV.
Yeah,
this has got a bunch of FMV in it apparently. So this would be more like Myst than this is. Like this is more like the other Lucas games. This is more like Myst
than all FMV. It is more Myst than all FMV.
Or Obidus, which I do want to finish. Yeah, no, I don't remember any of these screens or anything. So yeah, so I have not played this. Narc, they don't look familiar for you. So
no.
Yeah, maybe we should do this.
If I played one, it might have been the 84 version.
Maybe. Was that all text based?
Well, I mean, not only is it cool, but Arthur C. Clarke actually takes part in this game.
Really? Okay, because Deca said, I did see that cover years ago in a bargain bin, I'm afraid. Hey, that's where everything ends up, man. Yes. Okay, yes, right here.
If we played one, it's this one.
It was this one. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because I remember the purple. There we go. Yeah. They've got some more screenshots.
You can see some of these screenshots in here.
That I remember. Okay. So that was the one that you played.
Yeah, and you see this time scale we're dealing with, right? Like day one, they give you a clock, right? And the number of turns you take affects the passage of time and stuff.
Yes. I remember the text and the colors and definitely the purple. Okay.
Bowl of Rama. Sportscraft.
Screenshot Rendezvous with Rama. Now, oldgames.ru.
You have
also,
nice days, sir.
I sent you a second WeTransfer there, Narc, of some of the dialogue choices, and I did include a lot from Brink.
Oh, Deca says there's a 3DO game that reminds me of this. I think it was called Daedalus Encounter. Does anybody remember Daedalus Encounter?
Maybe. I always think of stuff like I was really hot to play, what was it, Journeyman Project, which is another, I think, game that had a bunch of FMV in it. I never played that. Oh, my God. And that I think turned out to be kind of a bomb on release, didn't it?
Probably.
It was actually successful. I mean, it spawned sequels. It spawned a remake, and and it was kind of made for the Mac. I mean, this was
that's what I remember because I had left the Amiga, but was now working with Mac, so that was interesting to me.
Yeah, you would have your G3 back then.
I love that part because one of the commercials that you can actually find had the, how they have the critics quote for how good the game is. One of them said, "Forget Blade Runner, the director's cut. This is hard sci-fi." I love how they're specific about the director's cut of Blade Runner. It's like,
wow.
Okay, now we got the final cut.
People hitch wagons to advertising elements.
So he knows his market.
Well, that's just it. I'm sure that's exactly what he was going for. Hey, what a sci-fi nerds like.
They love
boy.
parentheses.
I just remember playing that game. You go into a teleporter, and there's like an option to say, "Go, you want to go to Chinatown?" I'm like, "I'll go to Chinatown." You go to Chinatown, the universe collapses.
Just make sure you feed the dog at the beginning. Actually, I've always really harped on any science fiction that in their advertising campaign compares it to Star Wars. They're in trouble when they end up doing
This is
that.
the cover of the game I had. This Telarian game.
That's
this
it.
is the one we had.
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
This is on the Commodore
that's
64.
Okay, so it was totally even earlier than the Amiga.
It was developed in cooperation with the author based on his 1973 novel.
Okay, that's the one I remember you playing. That cover looks
and
familiar.
He shows up in person in the Sierra one, like actual FMV video.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely have to do that.
It's pretty fun. But yeah, check out if you're not going to play it, check out a Cursed Farms review of it. It's pretty nice, and he links to the
I bet you I
soundtrack.
have watched that because I've watched almost all of his stuff. His game dungeon episodes are the ones where he does these long plays of stuff. I probably have watched that. I probably just don't remember it.
Maybe we'll do a simulcast. Okay.
I
final
think it
thoughts
would
and
be
or
cool
feelings.
to do another one of these adventure games where the story is in the forefront as opposed to the puzzles, but one that was done better. Just to compare and contrast. But I don't know how many of those
to
there
mind.
even are.
I always thought Control was the pinnacle.
Full Throttle is said to be one of the best point and click adventure games there, and I think the puzzles really complemented the story as it was going on. They made a lot of practical sense. Like, I didn't really need to find a guide to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Right. Because the game logic and play was fine.
Yes.
You never felt stuck.
Especially. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should do Full Throttle.
Was just genius.
At some point.
Hey, that's got a remastered.
Oh, let's do that.
That's true. They do have a remastered version of that.
We'll do a compare and contrast to that then. Okay.
And I think it's a lot shorter than this one too. Not by a lot, but
hey, well, we can get into one episode. That would be fine, or maybe just like a long episode. Okay, so Narc, upcoming slides. Anything we're doing in the future?
Lightfall. Destiny 2 Lightfall is coming. It's coming in just a few days, but we're going to play it next Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yep. So not right out of the gate. We're going to wait until that weekend. So
Funky, are you going to be with us? Are you going to be ready?
Yeah.
Yes, I will be with you and ready, and I have started to download the game, so it should be ready then. But who the hell knows?
Well, you should be, but knowing your connection, is a week going to be enough?
Well, it's lately it's not been the connection. The connection's been good. It's just like weasel error.
Really? The thing's actually crapping out.
Reformat the hard drive, point the computer towards Mecca. It's been rough.
Well, wait a minute. Do you have a hard drive, or is this like on a Samsung SSD? Because they've had some firmware issues of late.
It's a Western Digital SSD.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're doomed. So, okay, good to know. And let's see. Anything else coming up? Because that's the next thing on the schedule. I don't know if there's anything else jumping out.
I don't. I think we just put it in that I don't know how many episodes we'll take to finish with Lightfall. So I think that's all I had in. Basically planning like 2 or maybe 3 episodes on that. We'll see how much content there is, and after that we don't have either back to Divinity or we'll see what the mood takes us.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Well, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to watch us. We certainly hope you enjoyed the Rampancy.net playthrough of The Dig. Please feel free to check out all of our exciting adventures on our YouTube channel at Rampancy.net. And for all schedule listings and updates and changes, please feel free to check out our schedule page at our listings at Rampancy.net/schedule. So until next time, I am Blackstar. He is Nargajan. He is Jeyl. He was pointing his finger.
I just want to say thank you guys for the privilege. Thank you guys for the privilege of letting me take the wheel on this one. It was
fun.
Homecoming, and
dude,
I
anytime.
hope you guys had a good
Saves
time.
us work.
And thank you all for watching it.
Awesome.
I hated it. Never do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you always hate everything.
Well,
so thanks everyone.
Let's all salute Boston Low and The Dig.
Yes. Yeah. Are we doing the right salute? Yeah. Echo to the left. See you all next time.
Bye.